66% off, you can join us in this class. Just call 8448-TRADER. That's 8448-872337 and tell the operator you want the $99 3-day class, or text $99 to 25029. That's $99 to 25029.
People who come to Cricket stay with Cricket, just like our customer, Michelle.
As an entrepreneur, every day is different. My phone bill from Cricket, on the other hand, always stays the same. Without surprises, hidden fees, or annual contracts, I can work worry-free.
That's Michelle, everybody, doing business like a boss. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Real customer, paid for testimonial. See cricketwireless.com for details.
KQFN Tempe.
Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM.
And K240U Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time.
For what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Daily Blender on this beautiful, blustery Wednesday here in the Valley of the Sun and Fun. Yes, it is a blustery day out there. Yes, we've had some rain on and off, depending on where you are in the valley. Yes, you are in Arizona. Fear not, next week it'll be probably in the 80s. Anyway, as we're broadcasting live from the Harman Solar Studios and the CRC Megaplex in beautiful Scottsdale, right over there, the sexiest man at Sports Talk Radio, that's Keon Rose. You are texting on the Fourth Dimension's way of communicating. The text line at 888-368-1580. Jeffrey O'Brien is not here. No. King of Kittens. No, he was not abducted by Martians. No, he's not on a 3-week honeymoon renewal cruise. No, he's not trying out in Fontana for a NASCAR team or in Cucamonga snagging fly balls. No, Jeffrey did not move to Tucson. No to all those.
That last one's not even funny as a joke.
I think you know
Jeffrey
how,
would never move to Tucson.
I think you know how Jeffrey feels about Tucson. And also, yes, you are correct. This wind does blow. I've been checking out the property here at the compound in the West Valley, and I've got parts of things all over. I've got Miss Kim has 2 lounge chairs. We never sit on them, but they're out in the yard. They're sitting under a beautiful shade tree, and we never sit on them. But the pillows are all over the yard. I have a tree in front of my house. It is mostly now de-leaved. Fortunately, I don't have a pool, but my next door, on both sides of me, my neighbors have pools, so I'm sure they're cursing this wind, because kind of behind us there's a giant, 2 giant trees that are de-leaving as we speak, and there's probably about a ton and a half of debris in each one of my neighbors' yards. Now, one neighbor has got the pool guy that comes in. The other neighbor, well, no, he doesn't have the pool guy that comes. He's the pool guy. My street, it's garbage day in my neighborhood. I took out my garbage cans this morning, and I was in the studio doing some work earlier this morning, and I heard a loud crash. I looked up. Both my garbage cans were blown on their back. I had to go pick up all the garbage.
Oh no.
Yeah. It's been a hectic day here in the compound. I haven't even had time to drink my customary amount of coffee, but we are here today. We are with you, and we are broadcasting live, and we have lots to talk about on this edition of the Daily Blade. Radio Run give you any tickets or anything? We don't have any tickets to give away, do we?
Not to my knowledge. I
nice.
Didn't see anything in the old inbox.
Nice. Okay. All right. We have lots to talk about. The coaching situation in Atlanta for the Hawks. You know, yesterday they cut ties with Nate McMillan, which I think is a mistake, but I think Keon thinks this might be a mistake too.
Agreed.
Also, why is Brock Purdy not getting surgery? And it's bacon for everyone. Anyway, I can see right now my bacon story has got the wrong link on it, so we'll have to fix that. Anyway, as we continue on here, let's start off underscoring once again what I've been saying all along. The NBA game is absolutely useless. They are players taking advantage of fans. Fans are paying exorbitant prices to be a part of this all-star fiasco. And we think the game, both Keon and I agree. We agree, right? I mean, the game needs to be revamped somehow.
Yeah, I mean, or there's got to be a way to get players engaged. And you've tossed out the idea that maybe they just played at a different time of year. I don't know what the solution is, but right now, players don't care and fans don't either.
According to figures published by Sports Media Watch, the game Sunday, which aired on both TNT and TBS, averaged a combined 2.2 rating and a 4.59 million viewers. That's a significant decline from the 2022 edition of the game, which averaged 3.1 rating, previously a record low, and 6.28 million viewers. 2023's rating dropped 29% from 2022. That's a 1 year, 29% decline in viewership.
Whew. I mean, this game was particularly bad. Like, it was in worse than even the previous 2 or 3 years. This one felt different. This one felt like I've never seen guys go through the motions all the way through a game before. Like, at least in the fourth quarter, you go, okay, I'll tune in at least to that one, because I know the fourth quarter guys start trying a little bit. That didn't even happen.
When you have guys like Michael Malone after the All-Star game, who comes out and says, quote, "It's an honor to be a part of this great weekend with these great players, but that was the worst basketball game ever played," end quote. The NBA has got a problem. They have got a problem. And I stand by what I said yesterday. Giannis Antetokounmpo should pay $20,000. That's $1,000 for every second he played in this game being hurt. Now it's ligament strain or sprain or whatever they're calling it. And, he can't play until the pain goes away. I mean, we'll see how long he's out. What if he goes up and he gets hit and he really damages that
well,
hand?
That was the thing that we were talking about with the game, right? He was never in danger of getting hit. He went to the basket and nobody challenged him. Nobody tried to challenge him.
Yeah.
He was never in danger of being hit.
I feel bad for the great fans of NBA in Utah who have been waiting for this to come to their city. What a farce. Absolute farce. I mean, if they want to do something, then make this some sort of a competition where these guys can get engaged a little bit. And for the love of God, move it from the middle of the season, or, first of all, 75% of the season had been played. I don't want to rant on this too much. But.
Yeah, but the middle of the season, I don't mind that. But they played this in the 90s. They played this in the 2000s. It was never this bad before. So the middle of the season can't be the reason, because we've been doing it this way for as long as there's been an all-star game. The players are different. These dudes are just different.
Here's what I think it might happen. Okay. Adam Silver's going to have watched the NFL Pro Bowl game, which really wasn't a game. It was a series of different competitions followed by a flag football game. They're going to do something like that, don't you think? I mean, they're going to figure that out. And by the way, why can the NFL have a Pro Bowl game after the season, but the NBA has to have this during the season?
They're just I think different things, because you do the Pro Bowl right before the Super Bowl in that week where you don't have it. The NBA playoffs just aren't structured that way. So you're going to do it after the championship. Well, you've lost everybody. They're going home for the summer. I like, you can move it to other times a year. You really can do it after the season if you'd like. You can do it before the season if you'd like. I just don't see the problem in having it where it is, because we've always been doing it this way. And if you can't play for that game, well, you can't play. It's okay. Guys have sat out of the All-Star game before. Guys will sit out of the All-Star game in the future.
Yeah.
But if you're not going to give an effort now, you put it at the end of the season, we're still not going to see effort. If you put it at the beginning of the season, we're still not going to see effort. The players have to give a damn. That's my take on it.
Well, and that's the issue. And the players don't give a damn because you know what? They're not making a bunch of money off of it. If you make it so they get $1 million a piece bonus for making the All-Star game, then watch this thing happen. And if you put some sort of consequence on winning or losing, you know, for example, go back to the East versus West. I hate this. Giannis and LeBron are the captains every year, and they pick teams. It used to be East versus West, and put some sort of consequence on it. Home court advantage or something in the playoffs.
I mean, the Giannis LeBron thing is I don't mind it. It was actually supposed to be LeBron and Durant this time, but then Durant got hurt and then traded. So, like the highest vote getter, the two highest vote getters are supposed to be the people that pick it, one from the East, one from the West. I like that part of it is still also not the problem for me because they've been doing this format for 6 years and this game was never this bad. But I do agree with you that there should be some kind of consequence to it if you're going to get people to care, because I don't know how else you do that.
Well, I think if you go back to when this first happened, okay, yeah, the NBA was it's like a gasp. They were trying to breathe life into something that was dying from the old format. And they thought, oh, you know what, we're going to go ahead and we're going to gussy this thing up and make it all pretty now. And we're going to make it so the most popular vote getters are the captains and they can pick their own teams and yada, yada, yada. And it was cute for one season, but it's just kind of, I think if you go back and you look, you'll see they'll see a decline from the very first time they did this, 5 years ago to where it is today, which is the absolute pits.
Yeah, but I don't know how much of that is the format and how much of that is guys don't care. Because it's not like,
well, I think it's both.
Because no one was playing for pride of the Western Conference.
Right.
No one was playing for pride of the Eastern Conference. They had personal pride. They personally cared. I remember being in high school and going out there and watching, Kobe and Steve Nash and guys who have like actually intense personalities. They weren't trying to get hurt in an All-Star game either. And I'm not going to act like they were given 110%, but there was engagement there. Like they actually felt like we have some pride being out here. I don't know what you do, but if you go back to East versus West, you're not going to fix the personal pride problem.
And I'm probably going to be misunderstood here. And please hear my heart when I say this, but it's no longer a team sport. It's a me sport. I mean, look what's going on in the NBA. It's all about me. I'm talking about the player. It's not about the team. Players don't care. They don't care about contracts. They'll break the contract, move to something else. And the league and the commissioner are letting them do it. And they just the players are the players are running the association now. And you know what? I don't know what to think about that, but there's no more pride about playing for your team or playing for your city or anything. It's about, I don't really want to be here. I'm just here because I have to be. It's sort of like, I'm just here so I don't get fined. Marshawn Lynch. He didn't want to be in front of the press. I'm just here so I don't get fined.
I don't know. I think guys care about their teams. I do think that they don't care about the cities anymore, which is not a development that I enjoy.
Yeah.
Some guys do. Like Damian Lillard, poor guy, is stuck in Portland because he refuses to leave the Trailblazers. He loves it, but they don't have the ability to put the talent around him to win. But he loves that city, so he won't leave. I just think we just need more guys like Dame Lillard, and I don't know where you find them. Bradley Beal refused to leave Washington. I don't know if he's ever going to win a championship or be part of a championship team.
But he wants to be in Washington.
But he loves the city, and as a fan of Washington, we love that dude. That's our guy. And championship or no championship, we'll root for Bradley Beal. So I just think we need more players that have like an individual sense of team and sense of belonging. I just don't know how you generate that. And I think Adam Silver's talked about trying to figure that out too, but you can't make it happen. I don't know if you can force it.
You know, I said while ago, kind of tongue in cheek, you know, you pay these guys $1 million or so. $1 million don't mean a lot to these guys unless you're not, one of the superstars of the league. And in the All-Star game, who's not making at least $1 million a game?
Well, and that's the reason why, as much as we made fun of the slam dunk contest and all the no names in it, Mac McClung basically made his entire salary in that night, winning that dunk contest.
I'm happy for him, but tell me why that's intriguing television.
The actual guy dunking was intriguing television.
Well, I didn't even know that the NBA allowed people who are not playing, particularly playing in the NBA, to be a part of this. There was no news to the fans out there. Maybe the fans would go, geez, this looks intriguing.
Look, we just watch whatever people they roll out there on an annual basis. It's been this way for a long time. And sometimes, but in the past, you used to be surprised by that guy. Now the person that's out there, it's like, oh wow, like I don't know any of these dudes. But the point I'm trying to make with the Mac McClung thing is because he's not an uber rich superstar, that dude was going down there throwing dunks like he cared. And I think that we've gotten to the point now where guys are making tens of millions of dollars. So the little bonus you get from being the MVP of the All-Star game, that doesn't mean anything.
And there's my point. Exactly.
I was trying to agree with you. I was just using Mac as an example of here's a guy that doesn't have that contract. And he was dunking his heart out. And I'm just saying, I don't know how you incentivize these guys or what you've got to do, but there's just got to be some way to reach them.
And the league only paid him $100,000.
Wasn't like
come on, Silver. What are you doing, man?
Wasn't going to be a millionaire afterwards.
Why not?
I don't know why not. But I here's the thing, because I'm starting to kind of cool on Adam Silver. I really like the guy, and I think of all the commissioners, he's actually got his head screwed on straight. But
I'll tell you where his head is.
He's a big softy. He's the players commissioner, and I think sometimes to the benefit of the league, but in a lot of ways, when we start to talk about this, when we talk about load management, when we talk about do the players have too much power, Adam Silver doesn't seem interested in aggressively pursuing these issues. And I think that like 5-6 years down the road, it's going to be a big enough problem that it's going to start turning away fans. And I would hate to see that because it's the league that I love.
Yeah, I get it. It's too bad, man. It's too bad.
Yeah.
888-368-1580. Let's see what the fourth dimension has to say. Big George, I was watching the replay of the NBA All-Star game at my barber shop in Mesa on Monday, and I thought they had it playing at quarter speed. They were playing so slow and defense non-existent. Also, they were missing easy shots and dunks. The format stinks too. They should go back to East versus West. See, I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
The problem with the East versus West thing that I always had, just why I kind of prefer this format, is there was a time where the West was stacked and the East had all-stars, but the West had superstars. And it was a frustrating game to watch because the West just went out and annihilated the East. Because the East had like LeBron. That was basically it. The West had like Kobe and Nash and Shaq. The East had like LeBron and Dwight Howard, and that was the end of all the superstars.
I mean, at least, okay, you can have team captains, but at least put a couple of coaches in there, an East coach, East coach, and a West coach.
But you still have that. Michael Malone was coaching Team Giannis with that. He was the winningest coach. The two winningest coaches go from each conference, go to one of the respective teams. So you still have that. That's why Michael Malone was out there. So I think the coaches are still involved in all of that. It's just the format before where it was like, man, if you have a year where it's a down year in the East, it was brutal to watch, at least in my opinion.
I mean, you're either a superstar or you're not. I mean, that's the way I look at it.
That's the thing is like this, some years, one conference has most of the superstars, the other conference doesn't. So the guys that just are in the East are in the East, and boy, the East team sucks this year again. How many years in a row did the West beat the East?
Well, you had a guy, you had Tatum on Brown on opposing sides of the bat. Shouldn't have that. Those are teammates. Those guys are teammates.
But I liked that. I just wish that they cared enough to like make that interesting.
Well, they don't.
Well, that's
There's
our ultimate
nothing
problem.
in it for them.
But like Jaylen Brown was kind of there, but I remember you'd at least get the Olay defense. We're pretending. Okay, I'm just gonna let you buy. There wasn't any. There wasn't even a pretend defense. I just
got a new texter, the 7114, our new texter here on the text line with the question: what's the point of wasting an hour on draft if the players aren't going to try it all anyway? I agree. I think it's stupid.
Well,
I think it's stupid and it just wastes time and it doesn't do anything for the NBA except this is the one thing, in my opinion, that it does for the NBA. It points out their arrogance. It points out the players' selfishness.
Yeah, but that would be true with or without the draft. Like that's because the thing is, if you weren't going to watch the draft, nobody is sitting down going, I dedicated all this time to watching Giannis and LeBron pick, and then the guys didn't try. Like, that's not what our issue is. Because if you had no guys picking, the players still wouldn't have tried, which to me is the source of the issue and the biggest problem, which is that guys aren't trying. And they have been trying less and less for years.
888-368-1580. That's the text line. For you, the fourth dimension. We're late for a break. When we come back, we've got so much more to talk about, including Nate McMillan getting fired from the Atlanta Hawks. Who's next? We'll take a look at it here on the Daily Blender on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
This is Brett Musburger's Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. The best way to start betting smarter is to sign up for a free VSiN subscription at vsin.com/subscribe. That's vsin.com/subscribe.
College basketball tonight. UConn at home to take on Providence in Big East play. The Huskies favored by 7.5 points, minus 320. The Friars plus 255, over under 142. Number 6 Virginia, 9.5-point road favorite against Boston College. The Cavaliers minus 450. BC plus 340, over under 127.5. Number 2, Alabama, favored by 17.5 points on the road against South Carolina, minus 2,000 on the money line, over under 148. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
If you have an IRA or 401k, please listen closely. My name is Jason Hansen. I'm a former CIA officer and New York Times bestselling author. Throughout my career, let's just say I've been in some hairy situations. And I believe right now, the biggest threat facing Americans is they need to protect their wealth, which is exactly what I'm doing for my wife and 6 kids. And I believe the ultimate safe haven is physical gold and silver. You can protect your hard-earned retirement assets with a tax-free loophole that allows you to convert your retirement into physical gold and silver. The folks I use are Advantage Gold, and believe me, I've investigated the heck out of all types of people. Advantage Gold is the nation's highest rated gold company. They have the best process, pricing, and service. If you want to get your free gold and silver investment kit, please contact Advantage Gold right now, and you'll see how easy it is to protect yourself with precious metals. Call 800-900-8000. That's 800-900-8000. 800-900-8000.
Advantage Gold is not an investment advisor or a tax advisor. Consult with your financial advisor before investing.
Call 800-900-8000.
For the latest from the world of golf, tune in every Saturday morning from 6 to 8 for the Golf Shop Radio Show, presented by PlayGolfMyrtleBeach.com, the golf capital of the world. Hosts Mark Greenhelch and Matt Blanchard talk golf from tee to green and everything in between. If you like golf, you're going to love Golf Shop Radio. Before you tee up, drop on in. Welcome to the Golf Shop here on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
The Renaissance Festival is back! Huzzah!
Weekends now through April 2nd.
Great shopping, a giant crafts market. Your favorite shows.
Be ready to have a great time and don't be afraid to participate.
Huzzah! Just night.
Huzzah!
Silly fun for the entire family.
Happiness reigns at the Renaissance Festival.
Lots of new shows. Non-stop feasting. Leave your cares behind. It's fun and affordable.
You will Sure, the Renaissance Festival.
The Renaissance Festival is back! Weekends now through April 2nd.
Discount tickets available at Bashes and Food City.
Or online at Arizona.redfestinfo.com. Presented by Delta Airlines,
Bashes Food City.
Pepsi, Budweiser, and Guinness.
You can always save on Renaissance Festival admission with discount tickets at Bashes and Food City stores statewide. Huzzah!
1580 The Fanatic is your home for college basketball action.
Saturday morning, Villanova looks to get their first quad win of the season as they head to Omaha to take on the Creighton Blue Jays. Tip time at 9:30.
Listen to all the action live from premier games and conference showdowns, high-paced action, last-minute buzzer beaters, and all the drama that is college basketball, all in one place. 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
It's the Daily Blender on this Wednesday, blustery Wednesday here in the Valley of the Sun. 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. We're this weekend. We've got lots of activity happening on the big station. We've got first of all, we got the AIA basketball playoffs underway. Tomorrow night, 7 p.m., AIA basketball. Listen for that. I'm not sure who the teams are yet. I will. I am efforting getting that information. Then on Friday, GCU is at home. It's homecoming as they take on Seattle U. 7 p.m. in front of the Havoc at the arena. Again, tip time 7 p.m. If you can't make it to the arena, you can tune it in live at 7 p.m. Then this Saturday, it's a basketball as Creighton takes on Villanova at 10. And then St. Mary's does battle against Gonzaga at 3:45, 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. You're home for the March Madness. Got it all going up. Got it all going on. 888-368-1580 CK. Good afternoon, fellas. Randy, beer me. One day closer to KD, baby. Huzzah! CK doing a huzzah on the station.
Well, it is that time of year.
I mean,
Huzzah!
CK just dropping a huzzah right on us here on the Daily Blender. 1524 says Suns hoops thankfully back tomorrow with the hopeful debut of Durant. Yeah, I would agree with that. I would agree. I would agree with that. That's what I put my money on. Was it tomorrow night or is it? I thought it was the 24th. They were back on the 24th.
Yeah.
Is it tomorrow night?
Is
it tomorrow night's OKC?
Friday's OKC. Friday's OKC.
Who are they playing tomorrow night?
Let me see here.
Well, you look it up. Let's move on here. This from kind of the files of the weird. I'm always for an athlete who's looking for ways to protect himself, to lengthen his career. In late December, Tua Tagovailoa suffered his most recent concussion, one that has lasted through the entire end of the season here. It's sort of disrupted his entire season, which started out really nice, by the way. I thought Tua was doing very well until he got the first concussion. And now he's decided to try judo. He's decided. I don't know if you heard me. He's decided that he wants to try judo, and that's to help him learn how to fall, so he doesn't strike his head on the ground.
Makes sense.
He's decided to try judo.
Everybody was kung fu fighting.
There it is. There it is.
Surely not everybody was kung fu fighting.
Well, I mean, according to that song.
Okay. I just have doubts. When you say everybody, are you exaggerating that a little bit, or do you mean literally everybody?
No, I'm pretty sure the song is everybody.
Everybody was kung fu
see everybody,
fighting.
everybody.
I just doubt the narrator a little bit.
No, it was everybody. It was everybody. I just played it again there. So I think this is brilliant for him. I think this is great because the way some of these defensive linemen And some of these linebackers are tackling, and with Tua being a scrambling quarterback, a running quarterback, he's going to get hit. And some of these guys like to do the what they're calling the is it the death roll, the crocodile roll, the alligator roll? I forget what they call it, but it's basically where they're rolling to bring the guy down, because some of these guys are slipping their tackles. So these guys are twisting the runner, and sometimes that means your head whips down and slaps the playing surface, and that seems to be what's happened to Tua in a couple of things. But doing judo, I don't. Keon, have you ever taken judo? Have you ever imbibed in judo at all?
I have not. No. My brother does jiu-jitsu and some Muay Thai stuff, but I did boxing, and that's all the fighting I have.
Boxing doesn't help you to fall.
It does not.
When you get knocked out, you just fall.
Yeah, you're done.
But the judo, that's like a ground and pound type of thing.
Yeah, judo's more about throws. So,
yeah. You learn how to adjust your body so you don't get injured. Tua says we've got a plan set up. I'll be doing judo on Fridays. That's so that I can kind of figure out understanding my body and how to fall, just trying to help myself. I applaud him. I think it's great.
Yeah. And that's the perfect martial art for it. I mean, it's because it's not about necessarily hitting people. It is about, using
body
balance
control
and leverage and throwing people. And of course, obviously being thrown. And so if you can figure out all of that stuff, because some people get it naturally. Like I remember years ago when RG3 was trying to figure out, how to not get injured. People
retire.
I mean, eventually he had to, obviously. But I think people pointed out he's a sprinter by nature. He actually is, incredible running, but he's not a football runner. He runs. Where somebody like Cam Newton just understands naturally, okay, when a guy starts, dragging me down this way, I fall this way. And so we never saw Cam get those concussions and injuries that we see Tua get. Lamar Jackson's another guy. Lamar runs a ton.
That's because Cam Newton was a mountain of a man.
He was a mountain, but like if your head hits the turf, your head's still hitting the turf.
Yeah, I understand.
And I think that like for him, he just knew how to fall. Lamar's another guy where we don't see him get those concussions. Some people know how to do it naturally. So for Tua, if you know that's not something you can naturally do, cool. Figure out how to do it though. And this is a smart move by him.
He will be committing 1 day a week in his regular workout regimen to judo training in an effort to learn how to fall in a way that doesn't result in his head striking the turf. I think it's a brilliant idea. So it'll be exciting to see how Tua responds to that. It will be exciting to see if this helps him out. And if he, starts karate chopping some of these defensive linemen that get close to him.
I mean,
instead of the stiff arm, instead of the stiff arm, he does some sort of judo karate chop thing under the helmet, to the throat, maybe.
Well, okay.
Right here to the throat.
I don't know what flag.
I can't continue to follow him. See what I mean?
I don't know what flag they're going to throw, but if you karate chop
that's
somebody
a stiff
in the throat,
arm. What are you talking about? Karate chop.
Yeah,
what are you talking
if you
about?
go with the side of your hand, there's no stiff arm there.
No,
if you hit somebody like Liam Neeson in Taken, that's not
like the Cobra strike right to the throat. See what I'm saying? These guys are going down. They're dropping like a bag of rocks. 888-368-1580. Judo.
What was the deal with that in Taken, by the way? Liam Neeson just dispatched. He beat everybody by punching him in the throat in that movie.
No, it's a great
like
move.
right in the neck.
I mean, think about it. That's a great move.
Oh, it's a fantastic move, but man.
Look, if you
that
can
was the
get a
finisher
solid strike to some guy's, some guy's throat. Yeah. Baker's Cocky Hen says, is it Tua team Miyagi-Do or Cobra Kai? I think it's Miyagi.
Obviously.
Tua is not the Cobra Kai.
No,
kind of guy.
Tua's definitely a wax on, wax off kind of guy.
Yeah. He's like a very respectful kind of guy. I mean, that was his upbringing. Nice dude. Tua's not going to go in there and sweep the leg.
No. which
Two
is
is more of
damn
the
shame.
the pelican or whatever they called it. The pelican that he did
Was
because
the
his leg
crane?
was wiped out. The crane.
Yeah.
There's no defense against the crane. See what I mean? Can you just see Tua? He's at the 15. He's at the 20. Oh, wait, he's struck a pose. It's the crane. Down goes the defender, and Tua's on his way again.
Well, this is a league where Antonio Brown once straight up kicked Pat McAfee in his face. So I feel like the league's not going to have too much of a problem if Tua uses the crane. just saying.
Like sunshine, Mr. Wilbur says in the movie Remember the Titans. Yeah. If you saw Remember the Titans, you remember sunshine. Yeah. He was doing that the judo moves, at the school out there. All the girls were so, yeah. Baker's cocky hen.
Good
Hertz
point.
was a Cobra Kai guy. So Saban shipped him out. Yeah, that's true. I think Saban, his dojo is Cobra Kai. I don't think he's the other one. 888-368-1580. He's not Mr. Miyagi. There's no way that Saban is Mr. Miyagi.
Not a chance. Are
He
you serious?
is the Cobra Kai guy.
No, Nick Saban is at Alabama telling every Tide player sweep the leg. All of them.
So who do you think would be the Mr. Miyagi?
The Miyagi.
Yeah, who would be the Miyagi
of college football? Boy, because that's hard to do in college
I
football.
think most college football guys, especially in the SEC, they're all Cobra Kai.
Yeah, they're just ruthless. God,
Herm would be maybe Mr. Miyagi.
Potentially.
The
I
problem
don't
is
know.
he just couldn't teach the crane. That's the problem. CK, Tua should train with pro wrestlers. Those guys can fall off a huge cage and land correctly. Yeah, see, that's another good point. That's a good point right there. Pro wrestlers right there. But then Tua would get lost in this cage. It looked like a bunch of bears and then Goldilocks in there. If Tua was in the cage.
Tua looks too nice to be fighting in a cage. He looks like too kind of a person. Yeah.
This bed is too hard. This bed is too soft. This bed is just right. All right, 888-368-1580. Tua taking judo lessons on Friday to learn how to fall. This is good news. Peyton Hillis, remember him?
Yeah,
we talked about him. He the daring sea rescue. Peyton Hillis has said himself, "I should make a full recovery. I'm very lucky and blessed." Apparently, he's talking. He's moving. He's been in the intensive care unit. He had to have a ventilator during this hospital stay, but he recovered over the course of a couple of weeks and has been released from the hospital about a month ago. In a post to Twitter, Hillis thanked his family, the medical personnel, for being so, quote, truly amazing, along with those who sent good wishes and prayers in his direction. So Peyton Hillis is going to recover from this harrowing experience.
Good for him, because I was rooting for the guy, and when he was in the NFL, he was always a likable guy, and then obviously you do something where you risk your life to help others. You want to see that person make it.
Hospitalized last month for helping to rescue several people following a swimming accident in Florida. Well, see, there's the issue. You're in Florida. If Peyton Hillis is somewhere else, anywhere else but Florida, everything goes well.
I mean, potentially. Florida is cursed. I mean, I don't know any other way to say that. But yeah, no, I just when I don't know, especially when it comes to water. I swim barely well enough to save me, so I can't even imagine that being like the first thought.
See, I have to keep moving or I sink like a bag of rocks.
Same. I'm right there.
Anyway, Peyton Hillis, congratulations. He is out of the hospital. He's doing well. He's going to make a full recovery. That's good news. Have to take a break on the other side. It's a sad story with a happy, happy finish. We'll talk about A.J. Brown finally telling his side of the Tennessee trade. That's around the corner here on the Daily Blender on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
If you have an IRA or 401k, please listen closely. My name is Jason Hanson. I'm a former CIA officer and New York Times bestselling author. Throughout my career, let's just say I've been in some hairy situations. And I believe right now, the biggest threat facing Americans is they need to protect their wealth, which is exactly what I'm doing for my wife and 6 kids. And I believe the ultimate safe haven is physical gold and silver. You can protect your hard-earned retirement assets with a tax-free loophole that allows you to convert your retirement into physical gold and silver. The folks I use are Advantage Gold, and believe me, I've investigated the heck out of all types of people. Advantage Gold is the nation's highest rated gold company. They have the best process, pricing, and service. If you want to get your free gold and silver investment kit, please contact Advantage Gold right now, and you'll see how easy it is to protect yourself with precious metals. Call 800-900-8000. That's 800-900-8000. 800-900-8000.
Advantage Gold is not an investment advisor or a tax advisor. Consult with your financial advisor before investing.
Call 800-900-8000.
There's no doubt that Harman Solar can save you up to 85% on your monthly electric bill. That's a fact. Bruce Jacobs here. But did you know it's possible to get solar for $0 down and no payments for 12 months? You can lease, finance, or even purchase outright. They have plans that fit everybody. Harman Solar is a family-owned, woman-owned local company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harman Solar at 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189, or go to harmansolar.com.
Everybody, it's Mark Asher back to tell you about my great friends over at the Lund Mortgage Team. For years, I've been telling you about refinancing, new home loans, all the great stuff that the Lund Mortgage Team can help you with from start to finish. Now, things have gotten a little crazy, right? The rates are bouncing all over the place. Now they're officially higher than they've been in a long time. And now more than ever, I think it's important to have a mortgage professional that has been there, done that. Any Yahoo can sell you a mortgage when it's 2.75%. Those people are going away. The real professionals are the ones that are staying in business and helping their clients through this kind of tough time out there as far as mortgage rates are concerned. Those people are the Lund Mortgage Team. Matt Oliver, Lisa Lund, they've owned this team for a long time, over 2 decades in the Valley. They are the best in the business, and they will walk you through the process, whether it's refinancing now or probably more importantly, a new home loan. Let them do all the heavy lifting for you. Call today, 623-875-9940. That's 623-875-9940. or online, lundmortgage.com.
ADOT presents Terrifying Jobs.
Bull Rider, take 2. Today we're talking with Clifford Maxwell, a rodeo bullfighter. His job? Distract raging bulls from going after thrown riders. Cliff, this seems like a really terrifying job. Why do you do it?
I love protecting the bull riders when they get bucked off.
How big are these bulls?
12 to 2,200 pounds of pure muscle.
You're not cowed by any of this, obviously. Is there anything that scares you?
Yeah. Distracted drivers terrify me.
This message is brought to you by TBA and this station. The most important event in sports could happen at any time.
Like right now.
Or right now.
Or even now.
Don't miss history. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, or at 1580thefanatic.com.
It is a blustery day out there. Be careful if you're driving around. Currently in the valley, high winds. There's a wind advisory in effect, so be careful out there. My grill area here at the house is all over the yard. I've got a lot of work to do tomorrow. 888-368-1580 is the text line. This is the Daily Blender on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. And texts that are still coming in. Oh, gee, look, completely and totally off of the beaten path here. Blissful Hayes, similar to the way Kyler Murray has all the power in the Cardinals organization. What? Silly Wabbit says, looks like the Cardinals are trying to set the record for youngest coaching staff. I guess Kyler will find a new meaning of timeout if he argues with them. What? Did we talk Cardinals football? Remind me.
It has not come up yet. No.
Big T. Big T says they have been termed they don't make it the Miyagi way. Huh?
Also, just from the interviews of Jonathan Gannon, he's a Cobra Kai guy. Huh. That's I saw him try to smile and he couldn't do it.
Couldn't do it.
No. He's not a big smile.
888-368-1580. AJ Brown finally tells all about the Tennessee Titans trade that happened last season, last spring, I guess. It's quite a bit. He was on a podcast today. A.J. Brown was. He appeared on the Raw Room podcast with former Titans teammate Darren Bates and former Atlanta Falcons defensive back Jalen Collins on this podcast. Apparently, A.J. Brown hadn't given this up. He hadn't let it go. He decided to spend over 20 minutes detailing every aspect of last April's trade. Like reading all of the texts he received from Mike Vrabel before the trade happened. Quote, this is Mike Vrabel talking. You okay with all this trade talk? It's nonsense as far as I'm concerned. Nothing I'm used to, Brown responded. First time dealing with the trade talk and all the contract talk. I know a lot of things has to happen in the next couple of months. I want to be here. I know it's a business and anything can happen. It's all in y'all's hands at this point, end quote. Vrabel responded with, quote, we aren't trading you, but I will tell you, just from my personal experience as a player and as a coach, you need to prepare to have patience. Just keep doing everything you can do to prepare on the other stuff, and it will take care of itself. I promise you. Let's visit again tomorrow, end quote. Brown, he admits that he was heard about the trade. He was upset about the way the whole thing was handled. He never got to talk with general manager John Robinson in the build-up to the trade. Robinson never reached out to him. Brown talked to his agent, Torrey Dandy, and was in constant communication with Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts, who was serving as a conduit between Brown and Eagles general manager Howie Roseman. But Robinson wasn't talking to Brown, and the Titans' offer of $16 million a year plus incentives that can get him to $20 million annually wasn't budging. So Dandy, his agent, advised Brown to cut off all communication with the Titans, including Vrabel. Because of this, Brown didn't talk to Vrabel or anyone involved in the Titans till after he found out the trade was official. After that, he worked hard to make sure the team was going to pound the sand right out of the Titans when they played, and they did. They bid. So I know it's a business. I know there are different aspects to this thing that I'll never understand because, I'm not in professional sports. I mean, you learn in professional sports, your teammates are your brothers. You go to battle with your brothers. You learn to trust your coaching staff. You learn to trust your coach. But this seems a bit like Vrabel should have said something, I think, since he was the only one communicating with A.J. Brown. Should have said something. Look, if this happens and you get traded, and I don't want you to be traded, don't get me wrong here. I want you to stay. But if this happens, here's how you should go about it. Because these young athletes look at these coaches sometimes as their mentors. You see it all the time.
Yeah. A.J. Brown's 25.
I mean, he's a kid. He's a youngster. And Mike Vrabel has been there, done that. But to make promises, as long as I'm the head coach, you ain't going anywhere. Or just keep doing everything you can do to prepare for the other stuff. It'll take care of itself. I promise you. Let's visit again tomorrow. I wouldn't do that. I mean,
there's a reason why they say don't write checks with your mouth. You can't cash with your actions. Mike Vrabel made promises. I don't even think that Mike Vrabel wanted to trade him. I think he was serious, but you made promises to the guy and you weren't capable of backing any of that up, and obviously Mike Vrabel is still there and John Robinson, the GM, is not there. So they were probably not on the same page about that and other things, because that's the only way that happens. But that's where we are. You can't promise things to guys in a business like the NFL unless you absolutely have the ability to follow through on that promise.
Later on, AJ Brown shared that the Titans he shared the Titans playbook with the Eagles before their game. The Titans and Eagles played December 4th, and in the build up to the game, Brown said he told his defensive teammates everything they needed to know about Titans offense.
Oh my God.
Quote, I gave them every detail. I gave them every detail. I gave it all. They don't change nothing. They don't change nothing. I talked to one of the defensive guys and they say, what does this mean? What does this mean? I say, just give me the game film. I'll tell you what all this means.
This is why people don't want to trade inside of the division. This is why they don't want to trade inside the conference, by the way.
Yeah, and in case you're wondering, the Eagles defense dominated the Titans offense.
I don't know. It's a business, and we always hear people say that, and it's true. But I think that there's a way that things can be a business and you can still have integrity. And I just don't think that the Titans operated with any in that particular instance. And I'm not saying that, everybody in that organization lacks it. I'm not saying, Vrabel doesn't have any, but the way that they handled that, and I think that that's something I'm becoming more aware of the more I watch football, is the way you treat people. You don't have to treat them in certain ways. The way the Raiders handle the Derek Carr thing, they didn't have to do it that way.
That was,
and
completely uncalled for.
Yeah. And it's the same for this. Like the way that they're handling it, you don't have to trade a guy and not tell him. You can say, hey, look, I know we're not communicating right now. And I know what I said before, but the GM wants to go this direction. And I'm sorry about that. Whatever the deal may be, you can be straight up with people and still make business decisions.
It's I think it's very interesting to watch this kind of unfold and to see how AJ Brown gave up the secrets, so to speak. It seems interesting to me the way this thing broke down, and I see the hurt of AJ Brown. I see the betrayal that he's talking about, and quite honestly, now he lost. His trust is no longer valid in Mike Vrabel. I don't know if he still even respects Mike Vrabel.
Potentially not.
Just because these guys are athletes and they're making, tens of millions of dollars a season, in some instances more, some instances less, doesn't mean they're not human beings. And I just don't see why you would have your coach trying to save his respect of the player just to see the player just get. Look, if I knew something was going on, I would say something. This is going to happen. Here's how to deal with it. There's nothing I can do about it. Or if I could do something, and I'm going to talk, but I can't assure you of anything. So you need to be prepared for this. See, that's the way to go about it. You can't make promises that you can't keep.
And maybe Mike Vrabel had to learn that lesson the hard way. I don't know. Because I don't know if he encountered something like that in his career. And he's been doing it for a little bit, but Mike Vrabel, this is his first coaching job, his first head coaching job. So this is one of those things you encounter where you're like, I'm the head coach. I've got enough influence here. AJ Brown is a guy I like. We're keeping him. And only to find out, no, the GM still got final say, man. You might want AJ Brown, but you don't get to keep AJ Brown. It doesn't seem like John Robinson was trying to get close to anybody. Probably for that reason.
Let's go to the text line, 888-368-1580. Baker's cocky hen says maybe Vrabel didn't know. Oh, come on.
Maybe he didn't, but then if you don't know, guess what you can't say? As long as I'm the head coach, you're not going anywhere. You can't say that if you don't know.
And then he also says if Brown put in as much effort in the Super Bowl as he does bitching, maybe they would have won. Nah, you can't do that. You can't hang that on AJ Brown.
Where in the Super Bowl did you see AJ Brown not giving effort? Where did you see it? I'd love to know.
That would be like you thinking Jeffrey could save your job if Radio Ron was getting rid of you. If Vrabel knew and kept his mouth shut, then he's a pansy and complete fake from what he portrays himself as. I agree with that. I agree with that. Taco Kenny says, Viva Johnny Lawrence as Los Cobra Kai Estado. Okay.
I wish I knew what that meant.
Kai Estado.
Thanks.
Mr. Wolver says, Wacky Wednesday. Oak Creek Cinnamon Whiskey beats the crap out of Fireball. All right. There's one for you, Mr. Wilbur. Long-time listener here. Long-time listener, first-time texter. Hey, new texter. Welcome to the show, friend. 9548, long-time listener here. Sincere thanks to the both of you for covering the full sports scene, unlike the others in the Valley. Spending some time opening 2023 baseball cards, hoping to pull a Corbin Carroll card. Yeah, that'd be something, huh? I mean, if you're opening these baseball cards and there's a Corbin Carroll, just lock that one away.
Seal it hermetically.
Put it in a case, keep it in A+ or whatever it is condition. Any MLB rookies I should be keeping an eye out for? That's tough. That's tough. I don't know, Kia. Anybody stand out in your mind from a rookie standpoint? I don't. Usually it takes me a few weeks into spring training to see who's really performing, who's coming to the top.
And you're probably more plugged in than me as far as baseball goes. So,
but I'll tell you, Corbin Carroll, that's a special one right there. It reminds me a lot of Scott Rowland. You remember Scott Rowland?
Yeah.
Just went into the Hall of Fame.
Love Scott Rowland.
He's got the bat. He's got the tools to play third base. He's got a great arm. Yeah, man. That would be one. Jake McCarthy for the Diamondbacks, another kid that I think is going to have a good year if they keep him up here and they let him play. And they don't try to do all the analyzing of numbers, the crunching of numbers. You know, it's got its place in baseball, but you still got to have some baseball knowledge. You can't just break out your Texas Instrument, 9,500, calculator and start, doing the Dewey Decimal System on these guys. Mr. Wilbur says, I got a name for 40 or 9548 cards in my bike spoke. No, nice try, Mr. Wilbur, but
it's a bit wordy, but you're on the right track. You're on the right track.
Doesn't flow. It doesn't have that flow. Cards in my bike spokes. See, I even blew it right there. Now we'll have to think of something else, but nice try. A for effort, Mr. Wilbur. All right, so that's the first hour of the Daily Blender. I can't believe it. Next hour, we'll talk about Brock Purdy. His surgery got pushed back. We'll find out why. Also, we'll get to the bottom of this Nate McMillan firing and who the potential leaders to jump in as head coach for the Atlanta Hawks could be. Also, it's bacon for everyone. Bacon. We'll talk about what that means next on the Daily Blender. Hour number 2 around the corner here on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Are you a planner? Do you like to plan ahead? Then, of course, you already have a plan to call Harmon Solar, right? Bruce Jacobs here. It should be at the top of your list to get solar now and enjoy huge savings next summer. Up to 85% on your monthly bill with 0 down and no payments for 12 months. Then you can plan what to do with all that extra money. Harmon Solar is a family-owned, women-owned, local company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar 800-281-3189 or go to harmonsolar.com.
For the latest from the world of golf, tune in every Saturday morning from 6 to 8 for the Golf Shop Radio Show, presented by PlayGolfMyrtleBeach.com. the golf capital of the world. Hosts Mark Greenhelch and Matt Blanchard talk golf from tee to green and everything in between. If you like golf, you're going to love Golf Shop Radio. Before you tee up, drop on in. Welcome to the Golf Shop here on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Hey guys, it's Stephen McCollum from the main event here on 1580 The Fanatic. Major League Baseball spring training is in full swing. Suns are off until Friday. Will we see Kevin Durant? The Coyotes have been stacking points, and the NHL trade deadline is coming up. Bracketology and ASU is in Tucson Friday night for a men's basketball rematch. So join me, Stephen McCollum, on the main event, Monday through Friday, noon to 2 p.m. here on 1580, 99.3 FM, The Fanatic.
Wake up and text. Text and eat. Text and catch the bus. Text and miss your stop. Wait. Text and be late to work. Sorry, I'm late. Text and work. Text and pretend to work. Text and act surprised when someone calls you out for not working. Me? Text and meet up with a friend you haven't seen in forever.
Hi.
Oh, hey. Text and complain that they're on their phone the whole time. Text and listen to them complain that you're on your phone the whole time. Text and whatever. But when you get behind the wheel, give your phone to a passenger. Put it in the glove box. Just don't text and drive. Visit stoptextsstopwrecks.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM. And K24EU Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
It's a daily blender for a Wednesday, middle of the week here, blustery day in the Valley of the Sun. As we are broadcasting live from the Harmon Solar Studios, beautiful uptown Scottsdale from the CRC Broadcasting Megaplex. Right over there, the sexiest man in sports talk radio. He is handling all the responsibilities at the station. You are texting in the fourth dimension on the text line, 888-368-1580. And my name is Randy White. Jeffrey O'Brien is out today. 888-368-1580. 9548 says lucky pull. It's got a picture of a card. Oh, it's Shohei Ohtani. Got a picture of a card, Shohei Ohtani. Good pull for you. He's talking about cards, you guys. Got a Shohei card. Is that some like material from his baseball jersey? Ooh. Nice card there. Nice card. Kyle G says, how you do things is what separates the good franchises from the bad ones. Guarantee you that the Steelers, Patriots, Packers, etc. always let guys know their plans for the future in terms of teams, goals, contracts, trades. Orgs like the Raiders, Titans, Brownies will always be second tier because of how they treat their players and employees. Now, I will say this about that text, Kyle G. You put the Packers in there in the good franchises heat. I can remember a trade just a few years ago where the franchise quarterback was somewhat stunned, perhaps surprised, that the team, instead of going and getting a weapon like a wide receiver, an offensive lineman that could protect him, a tight end that can help out, they drafted a quarterback.
They tried to replace him, and they didn't tell him. And I know that a lot of people will go, wah, Aaron Rodgers, why does he need to be told everything? Because franchise quarterbacks are told everything. When they were going to trade Tyreek Hill, the Chiefs told Patrick Mahomes. When the Buccaneers were going to draft Kyle Trask in the 5th round, I think. They still told Brady. Like, no guy drafted in the 5th round is probably going to ever replace Brady, but they still told him, like, hey, we're taking a flyer on a guy because we might need somebody to play after you're gone.
Well, I just want to put that out. And since then, the organization's not done too much to help Aaron Rodgers out. They expect him to be the end all be all. I know they're paying him like that, but the guy keeps working with young wide receiver talent. Then they let Davante Adams go away when he and Rodgers had a great, in my opinion. But I understand that Davante Adams had to make a business decision for himself. He didn't know what Aaron Rodgers were going to do. Hell, nobody knew what Aaron Rodgers was going to do. You know, he was out there, backpacking across Peru or something with his girlfriend half his age. You know, drinking that what kind of tea was that? The
ayahuasca.
Ayahuasca tea.
It's a fun word to say.
So I just think this was an unfortunate situation. And I think Mike Vrabel, I lost a little respect for him because you don't say one thing to the guy and then know what's coming and not give him a heads up.
And it's funny that Kyle G mentioned the Patriots organization. Mike Vrabel played in the Patriots organization. Of all the people on earth to know how to handle that, to know how that's supposed to go, it's weird that Mike Vrabel somehow didn't know, because look at how other guys talk about the Patriots after they're gone. Vince Wilfork talks very highly of the Patriots organization because Bill Belichick let him know when they were ready to move on from Vince. He told him straight up and told him why.
Look, Belichick and Brady, you can say what you want about those guys, but the thing I respect about them, not only that they are professionals, but they are professionals because they are direct. They're to the point. They don't play games. They don't do this gossip thing. They handle things behind closed doors. They don't argue out in public. They don't go to the sidelines and scream and yell and throw stuff, throw equipment. Kyler Murray, I'm talking about you. They don't get all mad and angry. They go into the locker room. They work it out like men. Mano y mano. They don't tell, gossip to each other. Oh, you're so nice. They would never want to get rid of you. And then all of a sudden, bang, they just shot you in the back. Straight Striper on the text line, 888-368-1580 says, why do you call Keon the sexiest man in sports radio? Do you not own a mirror? Oh, you're very kind, Straight Striper. No, Keon Rose is 5 stars of all that. That's what he is.
And I'm just open to insane amounts of flattery.
He is all that and a bag of chips. Yes, he is, ladies and gentlemen. Baker's Cocky Hen says, I heard Aaron Rodgers is pissed right now. Apparently, Tom Bodette went to his retreat right before him. And, of course, he left the light on. And that'll get you 2 minutes in the penalty box. So he's clever. I'll give you clever on that.
It is clever. That made me laugh. He followed through on his promise.
Jeez. All right, 888-368-1580. It's a windy Wednesday here in the Valley. So I'm glad I didn't put money down on this. We found this out during the break here. According to Fan Nation, Kevin Durant's potential return date from the injury has been revealed. You may recall that we picked him up in a trade recently. We being the Phoenix Suns, and I don't say we as in I'm part of the Suns. I say we as that's Phoenix's team. So it seems as though, according to Brian Windy Windhorst on this windy Wednesday day, there is an expectation that Kevin Durant will return against the Milwaukee Bucks on Sunday. If he doesn't make his return then, it'll likely come next week when the Suns play the Charlotte Hornets. Windy Windhorst reported that Durant is expected to undergo a 5-on-5 live contact workout on Thursday, that's tomorrow, before making an official decision on his return date. So there you go. That's what we know about Kevin Durant. Maybe tomorrow night. If not tomorrow night.
Well, it wouldn't be tomorrow night. It would be Friday night. The Suns don't play
no, I'm sorry.
Thursday. Yeah.
Sorry.
As it turns out. I
I'm
have to look
sorry.
that up there.
Friday night. So there you go. That's the latest. And if other than the Woj bomb, it's Wendy Windhorst that's got his hand on the pulse of the NBA. And quite frankly, they're tired of it. Will you just take your hand off of there? I mean, it's a little weird. Okay. And so there it is. That's the latest news that we have on Kevin Durant. And I don't think they're rushing him back. I saw some video. Did you see the video on him doing like shoot around stuff? He looks like he's moving well. He's not wearing anything on the knee. No sort of compression wrap. I don't see him sitting with the like ice on his knee. I don't see anything like that. And you know what? They're moving him. They're moving him around. They're making him move around, especially side to side, because that's going to be important to strengthen those muscles, making sure that he can move side to side. That lateral movement is going to be important. 888-368-1580. So there it is. KD's return date, possibly against the Bucks. This little jewel, I found this jump out. The Live Golf Tour and everything has been going on, and the Live Tour is starting to ramp up. They have their first big tournament coming up here at Mayakoba this week. And apparently Adidas has parted ways with Dustin Johnson and Sergio Garcia. His contract was not renewed. Quote, we've mutually agreed to part ways with longtime Adidas athlete Dustin Johnson, said golf president Jeff Leinart of Adidas. For more than 15 years, Dustin has been a great ambassador for the Adidas brand. We had a front row seat to see him win multiple major tournaments, ascend to the number one ranking, and cement himself as one of the best golfers in history, all while wearing the three stripes. We wish Dustin nothing but success moving forward, end quote. What does that sound like to you, Keon? Does that sound like to you that this was a mutual agreement?
No, it sounds like they're leaving it. They're trying to be nice. Like when your girlfriend breaks up with you and she's like, it's me, it's not you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what that feels like. It's not mutual when
Yeah.
she says that. It's
Yeah.
and it's probably definitely you, but she's
Yeah.
trying to be nice. Let you down easy.
Now, listen to this. Listen how interesting this is. A source told ESPN that the 38-year-old Johnson, who had repped Adidas since the start of his professional career, wanted to move in a different direction, in part because of his shirt. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on.
He sounds bitter.
Oh, yeah, but I don't like your shirt.
They're polo shirts. Do you think the polo shirts that they make it Titleist are any different? Just stop, man. This is embarrassing. They let you down easy. Go down easy.
Quote, as good as the relationship with Adidas has been, it just didn't fit in his plans, end quote, a source said. Quote, a major part of starting a team is establishing a brand identity and building that brand. The primary asset is the shirt. They want the entire shirt. DJ needed a clean break to start his team. He's grateful to Adidas for letting him out of the deal, end quote. So the deal wasn't even up.
So,
and if you think Adidas would let somebody of Dustin Johnson's stature in the PGA out of their contract, I mean, it would be much more than just a simple phone call. Give me a break. Colin Morikawa, Xander Schauffele, Tyrrell Hatton, and Daniel Berger, and Live member Joaquin Neiman remain the biggest Adidas ambassadors. Stanford stars Rose Zhang and Michael Thorbjornsen have NIL deals with the company. I mean, the shirt. Come on.
Yeah, look, that's stupid, because if you wanted the shirt, do you think Adidas wouldn't have given you the shirt? They could slap the logo on your bag. They could slap the logo on some of the club heads. You could still wear Adidas shoes. Like nothing about being an Adidas guy means that you can't have the shirt. So
Well, I mean,
there's got to be more to it than this.
He wears the shirt, he wears the pants, he wears the belt, he wears the shoes. He's got it all.
Wear the hat. What do you mean the shirt?
The hat that he has is a tailor-made hat, I think.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah.
Generally, these guys wear a hat by their club or ball maker. So, but Sergio, I mean, just didn't even renew here.
No.
Hey, what the hell, man? Where's my new shirts? I got like a golf tournament coming up in like a week.
Sergio tried to call and
we're sorry. This number that you're dialed is no longer in service. Hey, what the hell's going on here, man? Sorry, Sergio.
Hang in there, man.
You get no more free junk from us, and like it. So there it is. That's all the time I'm going to spend on that. Hey, man, I got a tournament coming up. I needed some new shirts.
Do you think Sergio was watching the 4-letter when he found out he was no longer with Adidas? They didn't even bother to call him.
They pulled a Mike Vrabel on him.
Yeah, just last week they were telling him, Sergio,
not to worry.
You're a guy. Yeah, of course
we're
we're
in the
going to
mail and shirts are on the way. We've got some really good looks this year too. What was your size again? Oh yeah. Never mind. I've got it written down here. Oh my heck. Watermelon. Ouch. Keon with a slight tell when your girlfriend says it's me, it's not you. That's what you're supposed to say to the ladies, Keon. Out there breaking hearts as the sexiest man in sports.
Look, it's gone both ways for me. I have said it. It has been said to me.
I bet it's more you're to them. Mm-hmm.
It's just how life goes, guys. Just how life goes.
Jag Dog says, I look forward to Kevin Durant's debut Friday with the Suns and also Jeffrey O'Brien's debut on the Blender on Monday. His debut. Should have like a welcome back special.
That's true.
You know?
He'd hate it, which of course means we have to.
What could we do? We could have people from all over the station, record little 10 seconds. Hey, Jeffrey, welcome back. We're glad you're here. It's Jacobs and Helly in the morning, Maybe get Bruce to do some stuff.
Oh, yeah.
It's Patrick says on the text line, the Phoenix Suns have been the Valley's team for me, for years now, unlike the Cardinals. Well, I mean, Suns have been here longer than the Cardinals. Suns have been here for, 50 some odd years. So what's the point, Patrick? Are you trying to put a slam on the Cardinals? Is that what you're trying to do? It's Patrick. All right. Sky Fury, he's going to be boxing Jake Paul. Sky Fury. If the name sounds familiar, that's because he's the cousin. Is he the cousin of Tyson Fury? Sky Fury?
I actually don't know in what way they're related.
Thought he was either the cousin or the nephew or something of Tyson Fury. Tommy Fury.
He's his brother.
Oh, he's his brother.
Yeah.
Oh, well, even better. Tommy Fury won't be satisfied to simply knock out Jake Paul in the pay-per-view fight this Sunday night in Saudi Arabia. He wants to end his rival's athletic career. What does that sound like? That sounds like something right out of Rocky. I must break you. The entertainer turned professional boxer will meet in a scheduled 8-round bout at a catch weight of 185 pounds. Fury, the half-brother of heavyweight champion Tyson Fury, evidently is bursting with confidence, in part because of recent sparring sessions. Sky Sports reports that John Fury, Tommy's father and trainer, said his son has sent more than one sparring partner to the hospital, broke the jaw of one, and has knocked out heavyweights in the gym. Damn. I hope it happens.
Oh, I hope it happens too.
I hope he absolutely does it. I hope he really does. Fury is 8-0 with 4 KOs, closest thing to an actual boxer. Paul, who's 6-0 with 4 KOs, will have faced in his professional career, although his opponents have been journeymen. The 23-year-old Englishman's mission is to expose his American counterpart as an imposter. Sky Fury told Sky Sports, no relation, that he'll stop him from thinking that he can transfer over to the professional boxing. There you go. Sky Fury wants to break him.
I hope he does.
I must break you.
He won't have my money to find out, but I hope he does.
Yeah, we'll wait and see. That's Sunday night, right? Sunday night's the big fight. Why do they do it on Sunday night? Shouldn't they do it on Saturday night?
Yeah, I mean, boxing matches usually are on Saturday night. I have no idea why this one's a Sunday thing.
Because it's weird. It's Jake Paul. Because it's weird. All right, listen, we got to take a break. When we come back, we've got all sorts of stuff to talk about. It's sort of a catch-all. It's sort of like leftovers today on the Daily Blender. You know, it's not a huge sports day, but we've still got plenty of stuff to talk about, like the most impactful NFL coaching hires for the 2023 fantasy football season. We'll talk about that. Titans get under the cap with a release of a couple of guys and so much more to talk about. It's the Daily Blender on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Lowe's always has more ways for you to save. On top of our everyday low prices, pros can save big when buying in bulk. Or if your purchase is over $1,500, ask about our volume savings program. A pro associate can provide a customized quote. Ask about our volume savings programs today. It always pays to be a pro at Lowe's. While supplies last, minimum purchase required. Selection varies by location. Lowe's reserves the right to limit quantities. Volume discount pricing quotes are valid up to 7 days. Visit your local pro desk to learn more and start saving. Offers subject to change may not be available in all Lowe's stores.
Basketball season is heating up, and the best place to get in on the action is with FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. Because right now, FanDuel is hooking customers up with $1,000 in bonus bets when you refer a friend. Just share your exclusive referral link with friends. It's located right in the FanDuel Sportsbook app. Once your friend places their first bet of $10 or more, you'll both score $100 in bonus bets. So don't miss your chance to get $100 in bonus bets when you refer a friend. Make every moment more with FanDuel. You must be 21 or older, present in Arizona. Referred players must place and settle a $10 plus wager within 30 days after signing up. Limit 5 referrals per 30 days. Bonus bets are non-withdrawable and expire 14 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT-STEP to 53342.
If you are an IT professional looking for an opportunity with great benefits, the freedom to creatively solve problems in a career with great growth potential and a team environment, look no further than Affinity Technology. Serving the Valley since 1992, Affinity Technology is looking for a level 1 tech to develop and deliver excellent solutions and outstanding customer service. Visit atechaz.com/jobs and get started with your future today. That's atechaz.com/jobs.
When it comes to covering the high school sports scene in Arizona, AZ Preps 365 has all the answers. Every Saturday morning from 8 until 10, they break down games, interview the newsmakers, talk with coaches from around the state, and stay up to date with what's happening with prep athletes and breaking news from the Arizona prep scene. It's AZ Preps 365, 8 till 10 Saturday mornings on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
1580 The Fanatic is your home for college basketball action.
The number 12 Gonzaga Bulldogs hope to salvage their season this Saturday as they take on St. Mary's. Tip time is 3:45.
Listen to all the action live from Premier Games and Conference Showdowns. High-paced action, last-minute buzzer beaters, and all the drama that is college basketball. All in one place. 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. And always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
It's a Daily Blender on a windy Wednesday here in the Valley of the Sun on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Don't forget this weekend, you know, as the announcer was saying, that Golden Tongue Devil talking about what we're doing this weekend. Yeah. Creighton, Villanova at 10 a.m. And then after that, St. Mary's at Gonzaga. Gonzaga really struggling this year, Keon. 3:45 tip there. They need this game to stay relevant because they've had a really down year. So St. Mary's at Gonzaga. What do you call in that game? You think St. Mary's puts it to them? Does Gonzaga come back?
You know, I want to believe in Gonzaga. I want to believe in Mark Few and what he's built in that program. But, you know, the dominating the West Coast Conference for as long as they have, some of these other teams in the West Coast Conference are having a hell of a season. It's not just Gonzaga. I think St. Mary's could probably give it to him again.
888-368-1580. Random texter Jeffrey who? Oh, come on now. This show is not the same without Jeffrey. Hamilton Porter sending pictures. Paxton Lynch is the only quarterback to ever be benched in the NFL, CFL, XFL, and USFL.
Oh, good Lord.
He's got a picture of him here with the Guardians.
Damn.
Been benched in all of the leagues. Only one, though, is the relevant league. Well, this Canadian football, I guess, is. I'm sorry, Paxton Lynch. Sorry. Beer Bob. Oh, yeah. Get Bruce and Dale to do something for Jeffrey. A nice little recording for him because that's what the fourth dimension wants. More Jacobs and Helly. I'm glad to hear it, Beer Bob. Good for you. Every morning, 6 to 10, right here. Rain or shine. Cardinal Art, great show, Randy and Keon. May I please have a stiff shot of your finest whiskey and a wind gust report, please. Was trying to throw some burgers and brats on the old Weber, but it's not looking good over here on the west side. Yeah, I wouldn't do that tonight. I would just I wouldn't do that. And by the way, do you parboil your brats? Because I always parboil my brats. I found that's the way to get that snap out of the brats when you grill them. Because sometimes you grill them, you don't get that snap. You get sort of a parboil going. That's good. Twitty, it says, just tuned in. Did I hear Keon say it goes both ways? As long as his life choices don't harm anyone, I don't care. He should be proud to come out in such a public way. I don't think that's what he said, Twitty.
I specifically did not say just that.
I didn't think that's what you said. Not at all. Twitty, you need to listen a little more closely. Yes, sir, Randy, with beer and onions. Okay. All right, good. You kill the onions for me. I'm not an onion guy. Rob Diz says, sorry, I was listening on the app and I was a little behind. Oh, he must have, this must have refreshed somehow. So new texter, no, that was on the 10th. Oh, I wasn't really aware of how sparring actually worked. I guess he's talking about Fury. CK says, you're right, the show isn't the same. There's a significant less stuttering, umming, and ahhing when Jeffrey's gone. Oh, please. I stutter as much, if not more, than Jeffrey does. Come on now. He'll be back Monday, and I can't wait. I don't know if many of you know who Tony Kanaan is, but if you're a racing fan, you know Tony Kanaan is a multi-IndyCar race winner. He won the 2013 Indianapolis 500. He is a huge favorite of the Indy 500 fans, and he announced today that he is going to do the race one more time, just one more time, and that'll be it. That'll be the end of his career. Last year, Kanaan finished third with Chip Ganassi Racing in his only IndyCar start of the 22 season. This year, he'll drive the number 66 Dallara Chevy in May for Arrow McLaren with primary sponsorship from Smart Stop Self Storage. Say that 5 times fast. So he's going to run basically a McLaren car at Indy one more time and call it a career. He has run, IndyCar for years and years. He's a popular Brazilian driver, started racing with the Chip Ganassi Racing team. And he has just enjoyed a wonderful career, and everybody loves him. In nearly 400 starts across kart, Champ Car, and IndyCar series from 1998 to 22, Kanaan has 17 victories, 79 podium finishes. His first victory was July 25th at Michigan International Speedway, racing the number 11 Renard's Honda. There you go. Tony Kanaan retiring from after the Indy 500 this year. 888-368-1580. So that it's salary cap and all that season, Keon, in the NFL, and we got the franchise tags and everything. I guess the Titans got under the cap today by releasing a couple of players, longtime left tackle Taylor Lewin and wide receiver Robert Woods. Any one of these guys any good for the Cardinals? I know Taylor Lewin has had some injuries as of late.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is that when he's healthy, I would still take a look at him. But obviously, one of the reasons why the Titans released him was he failed his physical, and so that's concerning. So you kick the tires on it. But if he's not going to be healthy enough to play, healthy enough to consistently compete, I don't know if that's something the Cardinals want to invest in right now, knowing that it's the long game more with the Cardinals than it is the short game.
Taylor Lewin, wide receiver Robert Woods, inside linebacker Zach Cunningham, and kicker Randy Bullock. Man, you have to be a crappy kicker to be released because of cap reasons,
or just an okay kicker. Like if they just feel like they can swap you out with the guy that's making.
Yeah, I don't know. He's sort of average. Let's cut him.
Yeah, like if there's a guy that can do what you do or do almost as good as you for $900,000, bye Randy Bullock. See you later.
Randy Bullock was making $2 million a season.
I actually thought Randy Bullock was a pretty decent kicker. I don't, maybe Titans fans can correct me on that, but I
cut him.
But the thing
Bullock.
is,
Get the hell out of here.
It's a hard salary cap in the NFL. So when you have to start making some of those business decisions,
there is a sentence, one sentence about Bullock in this entire article. Bullock, 33, made 17 of 20 field goal attempts and was good on all 28 extra point attempts last season.
So he wasn't even bad.
Period.
They just a sacrifice to the cap gods.
Yeah, Randy, I don't know how we're going to get along without you. Starting tomorrow morning at 8:00, we're going to try. I was fired one way that one time like that.
Really? They said that?
Oh yeah, it was the radio station. Yeah, come on in here, son. Let me talk to you. I was fired from another station. I was working at I'm not going to say the call letters, but I was brought in by the owner then, and he looked me right in the eye and he says, "Find another career."
Wow.
You sound like an asthmatic on Casa Grande radio.
I don't even know what that could possibly mean as an insult, but it is very hurtful.
Here's your final check. Now get out of my office.
Oh my
God. Radio. It's glamorous business, isn't it? 888-368-1580. Cardinal Art, local kid that Taylor Luan. Word is he's not sure if he wants to play big time podcast guy now. Randy, pour me another whiskey. Yes. Don't quite understand that last text. Doesn't know if he wants to play big time podcast guy now. Randy, pour me another whiskey. There you go. Think I got it. Baker's Cocky Hen says, I think the Titans realized their window was never really open. Time to trade Henry before he's worthless. Okay.
Well, there was a time when the window was open, and that was the AFC title game against the Chiefs. And Patrick Mahomes slammed the window shut. That was it.
Patrick Mahomes. I wonder if these guys, like, if they go around just like Patrick Mahomes. You know, these NFL teams, if they're like, they have like a picture of him up in their locker room, everybody punches it.
If you're a defensive minded coach and you have to go against that guy, like, what do you even do?
Patrick effing Mahomes.
Like, I mean, ask Jonathan Gannon. You could be up double digits in the fourth quarter and it doesn't matter.
Well, he
Ask
would
Kyle
know.
Shanahan.
He would know for sure, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
All right. We have lots to talk about here on the Patrick Effin.
Just a picture of him up on the wall with devil horns drawn on his head.
Right. You think Andy Reid puts a mustache on you? Look at this. Okay, most impactful NFL coaching hires for 2023 fantasy football. Here we go. Let's talk about this for a few minutes. The most impactful NFL coaching hires for 2023 fantasy football. Let's start with the new Panthers head coach, Frank Reich. Typically see teams go for opposite side of the ball when they move on from a disastrous head coach. That did not happen with the Panthers in the post-Matt Rule era. They brought in Frank Reich. Pretty much, it was an immediate thing. There wasn't much time after that. I mean, as the season ended, Frank Reich was hired pretty quickly. He's been proven to be an innovator and detailed. Why is he, Keon, an impactful NFL coaching hire for the 2023 fantasy football?
Well, you have to think Chuba Hubbard and those running backs going to probably get a lot more action. Frank Reich loves to run the ball first to get everything going, and then a lot of play action after that. And they do have talented receivers over there. You know, DJ Moore is obviously a guy on the roster that I think is going to benefit a lot from having Frank Reich there. I don't know what they're doing at quarterback, but I think that Frank Reich's offenses are generally, you know, running back friendly. And then when it comes to quarterbacks, he's not asking his quarterbacks to do everything. He's not asking guys to go out there and carry the team. So maybe, you know, you get something from those quarterbacks because you're going to be doing a lot of stuff off of play action, you know, a lot of rolling out of the pocket. So the field is going to be divided in half. You're not going to have an insane amount of reads to go through while you're back there. I think that Frank Reich can offer at least a boost in the running game. And I think unlock a guy like a DJ Moore, who was already doing pretty well last year. But I think that there's another level there. And I think Frank Reich is a good coach.
All right. Second guy, Todd Monken, Ravens offensive coordinator. Now, I mean, this just happened. So they're already calling him one of the most impactful coaching hires for 2023 fantasy football. Tell me why.
Well, because Todd Monken, what he does is pretty well known. That guy wants to go vertical all the time. He wants to throw the ball down the field. We saw it at Georgia before Todd Monken showed up and Georgia after Todd Monken showed up. Those are two different offenses. They go downfield. They take those shots. And the Ravens wanted more of that, right? They gave Greg Roman one more year last year to kind of prove that he could be more flexible in his offense. But ultimately what Greg Roman wants to do is run the football. And if they're going to pay Lamar Jackson all of the money that Lamar Jackson wants, and it seems like they're going to probably wind up doing it if they want to keep him, then you need your quarterback to last. And one way your quarterback's going to last is you can't have like 5 design runs a game for Lamar Jackson, like maybe 3. And then obviously he'll have those where he can freestyle a little bit. But what you need to do is get him throwing the football down the field. Todd Monken said, in the presser, he thinks that Lamar is actually underrated as a passer. I also agree, but we haven't really seen that unlocked. Todd Monken can do it.
All right. The next coach on this list, and we may have to take a break and come back. Tell you what, let's do that because there's a few coaches on here I think we'll go a little deeper dive into. So let's do that. We'll take a break now, and we'll come back and we'll talk more about the most impactful coaching hires on the 2023 fantasy football season. It's the Daily Blender on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-452-5050. That's 1-800-452-5050. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-452-5050. That's 1-800-452-5050.
SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Full details on example policies at selectquote.com/commercials.
One trip down Scottsdale Road, and it's obvious snowbird season is here. You know what else is on Scottsdale Road? The absolute best restaurant to take your out-of-town friends and family to. Kasai Japanese Steakhouse. No one does it better than Kasai, where talented Teppan chefs create the food, fire, and fun of teppanyaki. Kasai Japanese Steakhouse is dinnertainment at its best, where a delicious 7-course meal is prepared right at your table with flair. It's the perfect choice for any occasion. Choose from over 50 different items and combinations of teppanyaki. Looking for a great dining without the show? Kasai offers an awesome selection of Asian-inspired dishes and tasty sushi, happy hour deals daily until 6 p.m. And enjoy outdoor dining on our heated patio. So whether here on a golfing trip, for spring training, or just to enjoy our Arizona sunshine, don't just take your guests to dinner. Take them to Kasai Japanese Steakhouse for dinnertainment. Visit KasaiScottsdale.com. That's KASAI Scottsdale.com or call 480-607-1114.
Your home has gone way up in value, but have you taken advantage of it? This is Rob Canyer with a phenomenal opportunity to tap into some of your home equity, earning tax-free income and eliminating your mortgage payment while staying in your home as long as you want. With home prices leveling off, don't wait to learn more about the new reverse mortgage. This is a safe and proven money-saving and tax-free income opportunity for homeowners age 62 and older. Call me, Reverse Rob, and learn more today at 602-REVERSE. That's 602-738-3773, or download my app by searching Retire Right with Reverse Rob.
Time for some smart saving. Brew up an education savings plan.
I'm Arizona State Treasurer Kimberly Yee. Saving for higher education is easier than you think. For the cost of a few cups of coffee each month, you can begin investing in an AZ 529 education savings plan. When it's time for college, you can have the savings for tuition, books, fees, and more. So visit az529.gov and brew up your plan today.
Now that's smart saving. Sponsored by the Office of the Arizona State Treasurer.
Download the Fanatic app. News, scores, social media updates, and more on your smartphone, on your tablet. The free Fanatic app, available at the Google Play Store or the App Store, and at 1580thefanatic.com.
Welcome back to the Daily Blender on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. You know, you've heard me talk about it. FanDuel, here to help you make every moment more of all your favorite sports, all your favorite sports teams. Right now, new customers can get a no-sweat first bet up to $1,000. Just sign up by going to FanDuel.com/Randy1580. Place your first bet, and FanDuel gives you up to $1,000 back in bonus bets if you don't win. What I love about FanDuel is it's easy to use. It's easy to set up. It's a secure app. There is a multitude of great promotions every day. There's bonus boosts. They highlight games. You've got live betting. There's so many things to like about it. If you want to get in and, you spend a couple of bucks here last weekend on the 500, I spent a few dollars on betting on some of the guys. It was fun because it kept me in the game. And I got to watch as this thing unfolded in Daytona. So it's a lot of fun. And when I win, I get paid fast. You will too. No better place to bet every major sport than on FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Go to FanDuel.com right now. FanDuel.com/Randy1580. Download the FanDuel Sportsbook app. Get started with your no-sweat first bet up to $1,000. 21 or older, present in Arizona. First online real money wager, only $10 first deposit required. Refund issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expired 14 days. Restrictions apply. See terms at FanDuel.com/sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342. Let's go to the text line, see what we've got on here. CK, I wonder if Jeffrey is working on his podcast this week. I don't think he has a podcast.
Jeffrey is actually one of the most uninterested people in the entire concept of podcasting.
Yeah. 95-48. I guess he's opening some cards today. Some baseball cards. Got a Miguel Cabrera. That's a nice one.
Mm-hmm.
That's a nice one. You think they'll be able to fit in more stats on the back of this guy's card? No. It's good that this is his final year. Cardinal Art, here's more into podcasting now, Randy, and not sure about playing. Yeah, I mean, I get it. A lot of these athletes are into, more podcasting. For some reason, they're making tons of money on it. I wish they would give us, Kean and I, give us some tips on how we can make, buku bucks on doing podcasting. I think Kean and I could do a fun podcast.
Absolutely.
I don't know what we would call it. I don't know what the hell we talk about, but I think it'd be good.
Well, that's the thing. You could talk about anything.
Kyle G says, could have been worse, Randy. He could have said, you have a voice for a newspaper. No, I've been told by a very prominent former television news anchor that I have the perfect face for radio. That's a true story.
Wow.
That was told to me on the phone back in the day when Jeffrey and I were doing morning drive on a station. It was a music station, and we were doing morning drive, and we had this very prominent former anchor person who'd gone to a network, and we had her on the phone, and we were talking with her just, because we're, Jeffrey and I are not serious at all. We just kind of, goof around all the time. We're kind of like rubber balls. We bounce through life. You know what I mean? And in this, I think the question was asked, you think I could make it in television as an anchor? She says, Randy, I think you have the perfect face for radio. Which of course stunned me at the moment. I think Jeffrey had to help me. 888-368-1580. Random texter says, most impactful, I am definitely going to have to say the Arizona Cardinals' new head coach, defensive-minded head coach, Kyler Murray and Zach Ertz, and any Cardinal wide receiver draft position all have significantly dropped.
Yeah,
I mean, they dropped. Most impactful, this is random texter.
Mm-hmm.
And most impactful, I'm definitely going to have to say the Arizona Cardinals' new coach. Defensive-minded head coach, period. Kyler Murray and Zach Ertz and any Cardinal wide receiver draft position all have significantly dropped. I think random texter is saying, in our topic of most impactful head coaches for the 23 fantasy football season, the new head coach for the Cardinals is going to be most impactful. However, Kyler Murray, Zach Ertz, and any Cardinal wide receiver draft position all have significantly dropped. Don't draft those guys.
Gotcha.
I think that's what. Text me if I'm wrong, random texter.
I think I'm getting it. All right.
See what I'm saying? The most impactful coaches for the 2023 coaching hires for the 2023 NFL fantasy football season. The next one we've talked so far about. We've talked so far about Todd Monken. We've talked about talked about Frank Reich, and our next coach on the list is none other than Sean Payton, Broncos head coach. Why is this very impactful?
I mean, that's a.
Did I wake you?
No, I was trying to.
Were you napping for a moment there?
No, I was trying to pull up the Russell Wilson stats from the last season, and it just computer froze on me and made me
3,524 yards, 234.9 yards per game. Completion is 60.5%, 16 touchdowns, a quarterback rating of 84.4.
Yeah, the 16 touchdowns is what concerns me because he wasn't hurt. he played every game. Their offense just sucked. And Sean Payton, I think that Sean Payton is a great coach. I do think that offensively he is brilliant and that he understands how the modern NFL game has developed. And he's a big part of the reason why that's happened. And he has a reputation of being a quarterback whisperer. And if he can live up to that reputation, and get the best out of Russell Wilson, get the Russell Wilson that we've seen for the majority of his career. If you can get that guy back, then he's going to be the most impactful coaching hire from a fantasy football perspective of all of them.
Now, could we talk about grilling on our podcast?
We could. In fact, the podcast could be you teaching me grilling stuff because I don't know anything.
Well, that won't work because then I'd be doing all the talking. You would be taking notes.
That's a good point.
Could we talk about how to shoot down a balloon? Could we talk about that?
We could. I don't know if we could do that for more than one episode. Because I mean,
that's true.
I don't know how many different ways you can shoot down a balloon.
Sorry, were we talking about something else? Oh yeah, that's right. Sean Payton, most impactful head coaching hire or coaching hire, 2023. Okay, so the next one is your team, the Commandos. Their new offensive coordinator, Eric Bieniemy. Why is he the most impactful? One of the most impactful coaching hires of the 2023 fantasy football season.
Because he's got all of the experience of being an offensive coordinator under Andy Reid, and he's got a lot of toys to play with in Washington. I understand that, the offensive line in Washington needs a lot of fixing. They're going to need to do that draft and free agency and get that done. But as far as the skill position players go, and I'll just put quarterback to the side for 1 second. You got Terry McLaurin, you got Jahan Dotson, you got Curtis Samuel. Those guys were great last year. I thought Curtis Samuel wasn't even used properly by the coaching staff last year. Scott Turner. I just thought he was trying to use Curtis Samuel too much as a downfield wide receiver when you got to be, jet sweeps. Get Curtis Samuel in motion. Get him in bubble screens. Those are the situations you use him the most in. The thing that they were trying to do where they were using him as a downfield target, it just doesn't make any sense with Curtis Samuel. I think Bieniemy is going to be able to do that because motion is something that he uses a lot and did in Kansas City, and I think will do in Washington. And then the other bit of it is you got a quarterback in Sam Howell. I know a lot of people don't believe in Sam Howell. I know a lot of people don't think Washington is genuinely going to start Sam Howell. I'm telling you right now, they are genuinely going to start Sam Howell because the guy has talent. I don't know if he can play at the NFL level, but I suppose we'll all find out. But you have a guy in Eric Bieniemy who's worked with Patrick Mahomes, who understands what it is to be a great quarterback. You have that sitting in front of you for 5 years. You can give Sam Howell all of the coaching and training he's going to need. And if Sam has the talent, if Sam has the skill with all of those skill position guys, plus the running backs, Brian Robinson, Antonio Gibson, there's going to be a lot there in Washington as far as revitalizing that offense moving forward.
So you think that he's going to go in there, Eric Bieniemy is going to go in there, and you think Ron Rivera is going to name Sam Howell the starting quarterback of the Washington Commanders? You don't think they're going to re-sign Taylor Heineke?
They may re-sign Heineke, but they never view Taylor Heineke as a starter. They have said this for years. He is a high-end backup.
But he's a guy that led this team last year.
He did, but
when are they going to give him a chance?
They did. He played for a whole year, then he played last year for half the season. And I know that people like Taylor Heineke and like the story, but I'm a fan that's watched the games. There's stuff Taylor can't do. His arm is not strong. He cannot throw the ball downfield. He had a deep throw against the Vikings last year where he threw it and he underthrew it, but then the referee knocked over the Vikings defensive back. And so I think it was Curtis Samuel ended up catching it, scoring anyway. But when you look at Taylor deep throws, they are underthrown. All of them.
Isn't that their nickname for him? Taylor Deep Throws Heineke?
I mean,
that's what they call him.
I wish. Taylor has everything upstairs that you want in terms of the mentals. He's smart. He's smart as hell. And he's got moxie, and the dude never quits, and he fights.
Moxie.
He fights. But when your offense, when you're down 7 and you need 7 to win a football game, sometimes you can't get that from Taylor Heineke. You just can't, because
sometimes moxie is better than arm strength. I think
sometimes, but for the most, I'll take the arm strength.
I mean, you could be as dumb as sand and have a great arm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But a guy that's got moxie.
But by all accounts, Sam Howell is not dumb. He's willing to go in there and do the work. The coaches like that they don't have to tell him to go out there and study. He just goes and does it. So I think that's Sam is somebody that I think deserves a shot, and they've got to figure out right now, Sam, you're on the rookie deal. Can you play or not? And I think they're going to probably go out and try and find another veteran to compete. They're not just going to give him the job, but it's not going to be they're not gonna give a Carson Wentz sized deal to somebody.
Carson
because
Wentz.
It doesn't really bother me. I thought the big problem that this team had last year was offensive play calling, and that's been fixed significantly. So I'm good with it, but like, yeah, I do think you got to move on from Taylor because there's just a whole lot. He's limited in a whole lot of ways.
They should at least hire him for their backup then.
Yeah, they're going to try and bring him back. I would love to see them bring him back.
All right, then I'm okay with that.
Yeah, teams are going to come through and try and obviously take him.
Kid's got moxie. That's why. All right, the last one that's named in this Yahoo Sports article. Yahoo. Sorry. Is Shane Steichen of the Colts, the Indianapolis Colts. They were one of the last teams to hire their head coach. And of course, it's not my guy, Jonathan Gannon. It is Shane Steichen of the Colts, the coach head coach. Why is he going to be one of the most impactful coach hirings of the 2023 fantasy football season?
And by the way, if you notice, this list is all offensive guys because
Steichen.
We're talking fantasy football, and that's where the biggest impact I think can be made.
Sean,
which is why Jonathan Gannon doesn't show up. But
Shane
Steichen has a chance to do it because obviously all of the experience of coaching a Jalen Hurts and finding different ways to maximize the strength of Jalen Hurts and what he does well as a player. Jalen is a tremendous runner. He is a powerful runner. So obviously a lot of the fourth and short stuff that the Eagles did, that could only work, I think, with a guy like Jalen who squats like 300 or something stupid like that. He is they're your prototypical mobile quarterback. And I think that you can take some of the stuff that you've learned now that the Colts are in a position to draft a quarterback, and you're probably getting a mobile guy. You're going to either be getting a Bryce Young or a CJ Stroud. And at that point, or even a Will Levis. Levis is mobile too. So you're going to be using a lot of those same, we're going to roll him out of the pocket. We're going to find ways to make him a threat as a runner so the defenses have to second guess what you're doing. And if you can get somebody who is accurate, has a big time arm, like Levis really seems to fit the role in that regard. I just happen to like the actual accuracy of Stroud and Young a little bit more. But those guys with their skill sets, you can build off of things that you've learned with Jalen Hurts. And you add that to an offense that already has Jonathan Taylor, who should be healthier next year. Michael Pittman, who is starting to play better football coming up to the end of the season. You can build on what they were already doing well, in addition to having your new quarterback. I think Shane Steichen can absolutely do it.
Colts pick 4 in the upcoming draft, too, by the way. Having gone 4-12-1, they tied with the sorry. It'll be interesting to see what they do. I notice Jonathan Gannon is not part of this most impactful NFL coaching hire.
No defensive hires are.
Not impactful head coach at all.
Not from a fantasy football perspective.
Hey, the Colts, did they go CJ Stroud? I have a feeling he'll be there at 4.
I don't know. If I were them, I'd trade up because I like Stroud and Young more, and I think that Levis is probably the third guy.
All right, that's hour number 2 in the books for the Daily Blender. When we come back, we've got the NCAA men's basketball top rankings.
I've always gotten tons of UTIs. Cranberry products never worked for me, and I was desperate for a way to be proactive. I'm Jenna Ryan, CEO and founder of Eucora. We've worked with doctors to develop effective urinary tract health products. Just mix a packet of Eucora with water and drink it when you need support, like right after intimacy. Eucora is helping over 100,000 women stay healthy. Ready to join them? Get 30% off at eucora.com/radio. That's UQORA.com/radio.
Business people like it straight and to the point. So here it is. Bruce Jacobs here to tell you take control of your utility expenses by calling Harmon Solar right now. They can save up to 80% on that monthly electric bill with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Level your energy costs, protect yourself from inflation. How's that for straight and to the point? Here's more. Harmon Solar is a local family-owned company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar 800-281-3189 or go to harmonsolar.com.
We are ready to duel in the desert.
Is there anything better than the sound of 3 races breathing life into a new NASCAR season? What about if it's at a state-of-the-art facility with stunning views of the Estrella Mountains and a famous, only one of its kind hillside? Well, then you must be talking about Phoenix Raceway. NASCAR weekend at Phoenix Raceway, March 10th through the 12th. Get your tickets now at phoenixraceway.com.
For the latest from the world of golf, tune in every Saturday morning from 6 to 8 for the Golf Shop Radio Show, presented by PlayGolfMyrtleBeach.com, the golf capital of the world. Hosts Mark Greenhelch and Matt Blanchard talk golf from tee to green and everything in between. If you like golf, you're going to love Golf Shop Radio. Before you tee up, drop on in. Welcome to the Golf Shop here on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting. A teenager. Learning the lingo.
Today, I'm going to help parents translate teen slang. Now, when a teen says something is on fleek, it's exactly like saying, that's rad. It simply means that something is awesome or cool. Another one is totes. It's exactly like saying, totally, just shorter. As in, I totes love going to the mall with Becca. Another word you might hear is jelly. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will think you're, rad, just the same. To learn more, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
KQFN Tempe, also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 Rolling Hills at 95.9 FM.
It's time for the third hour.
Quiet, people, settle down because it's time. Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to hour number 3 on a Wednesday edition of the Daily Blender on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, as we broadcast live from the Harmon Solar Studios in beautiful uptown Scottsdale on a windy Wednesday here in the Valley. Right over there, the sexiest man in sports talk radio, that's Keon Rose. If you don't think so, just take a look at him. He doesn't even have to say anything. It's sexy. You, the fourth dimension, are texting in on the text line at 888-368-1580. Jeffrey O'Brien is out today. I understand he will be back. The lock on the text line at 888-368-1580 says this from last hour. Brock Purdy, same arm strength, different offense. Heineke is the same player, but with a bad team. Now, you say bad team. I don't think the Commanders were bad. I don't think they were bad.
They were a very average football team.
Average? Yeah, I'll give you that.
But I do think there's some similarities there.
I don't think they were bad, though.
No, I don't think they were bad. The NFC East was fantastic last year, and to finish 500 in that division means you were all right.
Well, and you had the posers, the Dallas Cowgirls, who had a completely different sort of schedule structure. So everybody thought they were great. I guess we found out really quick they're not. I mean, if the Cowboys and the Washington Commandos had the same strength of schedule, I'm thinking the Cowgirls would have been about the same as the Commandos. I am just.
I think they actually did have the same strength of schedule last year.
I don't know about that. The Cowgirls had a pretty easy strength of schedule.
Yeah, Washington was right there though. But the Cowboys are supposed to be better. So the fact that there were games where they struggled, they're not supposed to struggle in the same games that Washington's struggling in.
This hour on the Daily Blender, we're going to talk NCAA men's basketball. We've got the newest rankings that came out. I think it was yesterday or Monday, sometime here recently. We didn't get to it yesterday. We weren't on the air Monday because it was a national holiday. It was my birthday. That's why it was a national holiday. But this story out of, speaking of men's basketball, last night, thousands of Virginia Tech fans erupted after winning a free gift at the Hokies basketball game. Thousands of happy Virginia Tech fans were waiting. They've been doing this ongoing, promotion, where if the opposing team misses 2 straight free throws, everybody in the arena, wait for it, gets free bacon.
That's a beautiful thing.
I'm not kidding you. If Jeffrey were here, I mean, if he were here right now, he would be applauding this, probably calling Virginia Tech the man of the day. Unfortunately, the Hokies lost the game, but they go home with the bacon, though. This is what it sounded like last night, according to Sports Fan on Twitter.
In the NCAA tournament for sure. Now they have some vulnerabilities. Now we got to get this here. After Jordan Miller missed that free throw, the crowd's going nuts. Here's why: if he misses the second one, everybody in this house gets free bacon. Bacon for everybody.
There you go. Can you believe that?
Oh, my God, yes.
At that point in the game, Miami is beating them 64-58 with about 4.5 minutes left in the second half. Vatek didn't care. Miami, you can have the W. We got bacon!
Like, if you're going to watch your team get their ass beat and you go home with some bacon, did you really lose?
I mean, whoever came up with this promotion is a daggum marketing genius. That person, whoever came up with this promotion, should be promoted to president of marketing.
Just the very idea that the crowd knew the consequences of him missing the first one. They were engaged in that game.
Exactly. You see what I mean? Guy's a genius. And the attendance at the game, it looked like it was a sold-out house. Who cares who we're playing? We're going to the game tonight. If those guys miss 2 in a row, we get bacon. Tell me bacon doesn't have pull. Why do you think Kevin Bacon was such a great actor? It wasn't for his acting prowess, it's because of his last name.
It's a good point. Good point. And the play-by-play.
Oh, yeah.
Simply beautiful. The only person who could probably have done that better is Kevin Harlan.
Oh, yeah. Kevin Harlan would have done it.
In the NCAA tournament for sure. Now they have some vulnerabilities. Now we got to get this here. After Jordan Miller missed that free throw, the crowd's going nuts. Here's why: if he misses the second one, everybody in this house gets free bacon.
Yeah.
Bacon for everybody.
See, that's the only thing you can say there. I mean, that's just legendary.
The pause to just let the play happen.
Oh, yeah.
No, that is brilliant work.
Bacon for everybody.
I don't know who that was on the call, but well done.
Listen, what a great promotion. If you're listening and you are a Phoenix Cardinal or Arizona Cardinals or a Coyote, marketing, just thinking outside the box here, bacon. Just keep in mind bacon. Okay. 888-368-1580 is the text line for you to be a part of it. Let's move on to college basketball's top rankings. Now, this is updated. I believe on Monday is when it got updated. So this is the latest as of as the time I have it. For the third week in a row, we have a new number one again. And this time it's Houston. Houston moves into the number 1 spot, which I think Houston should have been number 1 all along. If they would have just left Houston there instead of moving them out, Houston would have been fine. Alabama lost, so Houston moves into number 1. Kansas playing good basketball. UCLA, that's number 4. So Houston at 1, Alabama at 2, Kansas 3, UCLA 4. Are you in agreement with this so far, Keon Rose?
I am. And the reason why Houston wasn't number 1 the whole time is their embarrassing loss to Temple, where they only managed to score 55 points, and they lost to Alabama head-to-head earlier in the year. So that I had no problem with Alabama overtaking them. But obviously, if you're Alabama, you have to continue to win, and that's not what happened. So Houston takes this top spot back. But yeah, I've got no problem with the top of this particular rankings.
All right, so let's go 5 through 8. Purdue moves into number 5. Virginia number 6. Arizona at 7. They're up 1 from last week, and Texas is now number 8. Are you in agreement with the next 4? Purdue at 5, Virginia 6, Arizona 7, Texas 8.
Yeah, I mean, I you could have a very strong argument for having Arizona ahead of Virginia, because the ACC is not as tough as the Pac-12 to me, and you know, you got your powers in Duke and North Carolina. They've clearly taken a step back, especially Duke, but North Carolina is not exactly getting it done either. To the point where when North Carolina has to play top tier opponents, they lose like almost all of those games. So I think that North Carolina and Duke sort of being the traditional powers of the ACC, now we're starting to see that landscape change a little bit. I don't know outside of a lot, but like especially even beyond Duke and North Carolina, there's been some shifting around too. So beyond Virginia, who is really the top of that conference? Whereas if you look at the Pac-12, I think you can see a number of quality basketball programs here that Arizona has to play. I would put Arizona above, but I think that's probably the only thing I would change.
All right, so you're okay with the second 8 then? You're okay from 1 through 8 then?
Yes.
All right, at number 9, it's Baylor. Number 10, Marquette. Number 11 is Tennessee. And number 12 is Gonzaga. Are you okay with the next 8?
No. And Tennessee is the big glaring reason why. They are falling apart right now.
Boy, 20-7. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and it's not just, you know, the record. They don't pass the eye test either. And that's, to me, that's the worst thing that can happen, is when your record says you're something, and then I watch the games and the games confirm what the record is saying. It's not great. I think Tennessee can play much better than they have been playing as of late, but offensively, they look stagnant. It looks like people have figured them out. And you know, Rick Barnes, I really like Rick Barnes, but this is one of my problems with him, is that he just offensively doesn't have interest in changing a whole lot of things. He's more of I need my guys to play defense kind of coach, which is great. But I think Tennessee has to have some more wrinkles to their game, because they're playing in the SEC and it's way too tough for them to be trotting out the same offense week after week. And we're seeing it. The SEC is tough enough. You're going to get killed if you do that. And I don't think that just because your conference is tough, if you're not changing things up on offense, if you're getting beaten in all of these different ways, you know, you get swept by Kentucky, and this isn't even the best version of Kentucky. I don't like that for Tennessee. I don't know that I have Tennessee in. I would like Tennessee down to like 15, if I'm honest with you. Yeah. Okay. That's the level they're currently playing at.
Currently we're St. Mary's. So then where do you put St. Mary's?
I would bump them up. St. Mary's is really damn good.
All right. So we've gone through 12. 13 is Miami, 14 Kansas State, 15 St. Mary's, and 16 Xavier. Are you okay with that for?
Sort of. I mean, man, I'd probably move St. Mary's above Kansas State too.
Wow.
And again, it's another one where it's like Big 12 is tough. It's a tough place to play. But Kansas State, they lose games that they could win. And that to me is, if you're going to be in the top 15, I would like to see the teams that handle their business the most in that top 15. Kansas State, they just drop the odd game here and there where you just go, why? And it's not that they're a bad basketball team, and it's not like they can't make noise in the tournament, but doesn't feel very best of the best to me.
All right. So then moving along here, 17 is Indiana, 18 is UConn, 19 Creighton, and 20 Providence. Do you have a problem with those four?
No, actually.
So you would have those that you think they're properly placed.
I think that they are properly placed. Maybe Indiana's a bit high, but no, not really. I think Indiana's playing pretty well, and Indiana at 17. That seems fair, especially when you look at, you put them up against a UConn. I think they're better than UConn. I think if they played Creighton today, they beat Creighton. So, I've got no problem with that grouping of four there.
All right. So then moving on to the last five, Northwestern is 21, 22 is San Diego State, 23 Iowa State, 24 TCU, and 25 Texas A&M. Gig 'em.
I mean, it disturbs me. That Texas A&M is 25, but that's just personal bias. That's not.
Gig 'em.
They're good. They're good. They've earned their spot in the top 25. But potentially, I would drop Iowa State down. I think that there's a few teams in the top 25 right now. Iowa State, Tennessee, Kansas State, the ones we were talking about, where they're getting credit for how hard their conference is, but they're losing games that they should win, not just in their conference, but also outside of it. But inside your conference, I just think that you're getting to the point where you're at 6-7 losses. Are you a top 10 team? Are you a top 15 team? Really?
USC's not even in the top 25.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, they're good. They're good, but they're not one of like top 25 good.
All right.
They're a very good team.
All right. So there you have it. 888-368-1580 is some of the blowout of that. Let's see here. A Baker's Cocky Hen says, how about those Canes? Made me a good amount of bacon last night. And anyone else who listened and followed Bet yesterday? So you're a Canes guy, or?
Or did you just bet the Canes and you're happy that they made you money? Because either's fine.
The Jets just being mean here. There's not enough pigs in the world for the Cardinals to hand out bacon every time they lost. See, I would say every time the opponents, every time you had like a goal line stop, or every time you made a pickoff, or, then every time the Cardinals did something good, the Jet. Why you got to be so mean?
Just unnecessary.
I mean, why? What did I do to you, the Jet? Lost Toby says rankings don't mean anything this year. So are you saying that the rankings of the men's basketball mean nothing, and when the tournament starts, it's all hell's going to break loose? Is that what you're talking about, Lost Toby?
It feels like one of those years. I do agree with Lost Toby that
you're just not going to know which way to go.
Yeah, I don't know that they're meaningless, but from week to week, it seems like the best team, we don't know who it is. And when we think we get a handle on, these are the 5 best teams in the country, somebody loses in horrific fashion or dramatic fashion, and then you've got to rearrange the whole thing. And some teams that were in the top 5, you just got to kick them out, because the teams that were outside, maybe they're the best 5 now. The whole thing's been in flux all year long, and usually around this time of year, it starts to stabilize. You at least have an idea. These are the 4 best. I don't even know if we know who the 4 best are.
I know we're about a month or so away, maybe less.
Yeah, less than that. A few weeks.
A few weeks away from the selection weekend, Selection Sunday. So whoever ends up being the ones, the 4 number ones, are they there? Are they still? Is this the kind of year where all the number ones fall and are not relevant when it comes down to championship time?
I don't know about that.
So you think the number ones will still be relevant?
I think Houston will be a number 1, and they'll probably still be relevant. And I think Alabama. Alabama is playing lights out basketball.
So who's the other two number ones in your opinion?
Kansas, and then, I mean, obviously number 4 in the AP poll right now is UCLA, but I think probably Purdue gets that 4th one.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't think UCLA is better than Purdue?
I think they're on par with each other, and I think I'm just guessing, and I'm sort of forecasting a little bit, but I think that by the time we get to that selection Sunday, Purdue will have played themselves back to that 4th number 1 slot.
Wow. Okay,
but UCLA is damn good. Like this is what Las Toby's kind of talking about. Like, could be wrong about that. Very wrong.
Arizona, do they climb back up into the top 5?
Boy, I don't know. I don't think so. And it's
all right.
Maybe, but I mean, just the teams that have kind of been rotating in the top 5, they're pretty well established at that point. I think somebody's going to have to do a whole lot of losing, whether that's Purdue, UCLA, or Kansas, for Arizona to get in, even if Arizona just keeps on winning.
888-368-1580. Before we go to break, Big George on the text line says, Randy, it's so windy outside. And then I guess we all are supposed to go, how windy is it? I think I just saw Kyler Murray blowing down the street in front of State Farm Stadium.
Thank you.
George, everybody knows he's not there. Jeez. It's a Daily Blender on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. The best way to start betting smarter is to sign up for a free VSiN subscription at vsin.com/subscribe. That's vsin.com/subscribe.
The second half of the NBA season starts on Thursday night. A couple of games on the schedule, including the Cleveland Cavaliers taking on the Western Conference leader Denver Nuggets. Cleveland favored by 2.5 points, minus 130 on the money line. Denver plus 110 with an over-under at 222. The Boston Celtics will face the Indiana Pacers in Indianapolis. Celtics an 8-point road favorite, minus 325, while the Pacers plus 270 at home. The over-under 234.5. And the Dallas Mavericks a 13.5-point home favorite against the San Antonio Spurs. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Better sleep can change your life. That's because sleep is a core pillar of health, just like nutrition and exercise. So if you're not getting enough of it, ZzzQuil invites you to take our Better Sleep to Better Health Challenge. Join today at ZzzQuil.com to get weekly sleep tips from experts and learn how ZzzQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, can help enhance your journey to better sleep. ZzzQuil's Better Sleep to Better Health Challenge. Visit ZzzQuil.com now.
When it comes to covering the high school sports scene in Arizona, AZ Preps 365 has all the answers. Every Saturday morning from 8 until 10, they break down games, interview the newsmakers, talk with coaches from around the state, and stay up to date with what's happening with prep athletes and breaking news from the Arizona prep scene. It's AZ Preps 365, 8 till 10 Saturday mornings on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
No one else does what I do in diamonds. Hi, Diamond Dave Cantor, the only wholesale diamond dealer open to you by appointment. I import diamonds directly from cutters from around the world. We have the lowest overhead office of anyone in the diamond business. No one else with 4th generation connections, direct diamond importing, and design and manufacturing works directly with you except me.
No one else can do what Diamond Dave does. Call him today at 480-397-2450. Reach him on Instagram at Diamond Dave KANTOR.
For the latest from the world of golf, tune in every Saturday morning from 6 to 8 for the Golf Shop Radio Show, presented by PlayGolfMyrtleBeach.com, the golf capital of the world. Hosts Mark Greenhelch and Matt Blanchard talk golf from tee to green and everything in between. If you like golf, you're going to love Golf Shop Radio. Before you tee up, drop on in. Welcome to the Golf Shop here on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Progressive presents Adjusting to the Suburbs.
It never dawned on me how much walking I used to do until I bought a house in the suburbs.
Like when I'd say, I'm going for coffee, of course I was walking, but now it's like 3 miles and no latte's worth that. I find myself inviting people on walks with me like it's a scheduled activity. This morning, my neighbor asked me what I'm doing, and I actually said, I'm going for a walk with Nancy.
Anyway, when you save with Progressive by bundling your home and auto, that's the easy part of adjusting to the suburbs. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company coverage provided in service by affiliates and third-party insurers.
1580 The Fanatic is your home for college basketball action.
Saturday morning, Villanova looks to get their first quad win of the season as they head to Omaha to take on the Creighton Blue Jays. Tip time at 9:30.
Listen to all the action live from Premier Games and Conference Showdowns. High-paced action, last-minute buzzer beaters, and all the drama that is college basketball. All in one place. 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. And always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
Yeah, it should be a busy weekend on at least on Saturday for sure. Creighton at Villanova, 10 a.m. St. Mary's at Gonzaga, 3:45 Saturday. Friday night, Grand Canyon is going to be out at the arena. It's their homecoming, and they'll be taking on Seattle University, Seattle U. I'm assuming it's Seattle University. I mean, why would they would it be like Seattle, the Seattle Umbrellas? Because it rains there a lot. Seattle U is all it says.
Yeah,
I'm unsure. Is it university?
You are correct, sir.
I mean, it could be the Seattle Uncools. It could be the Seattle Umbrellas. The Seattle, underclassmen. I don't know. I don't know these things because they're all I know is GCU, the Killer Antelope, 7 p.m. And if you can't make it to the arena, by gosh, by gum, by golly, tune it in here on the big station, 7 p.m. tip time Friday night, tomorrow night, Thursday night, AIA basketball live. Boys basketball playoff action starting at 7. It's action so hot it'll set your radio on fire. 888-368-1580 is the text line. Having a lot of fun today on this windy Wednesday. There is a couple of things here. Bruno Baller says, I wonder what they meant by free bacon, already pre-cooked, crispy bacon, or one of those vacuum packaged Oscar Mayer bacon packs you take home and cook. Okay, I don't do the Oscar Mayer.
Oscar Mayer bacon?
Yeah, I don't do the Oscar Mayer bacon.
Yeah, no thanks.
I can't remember what kind we get, but it's not Oscar Mayer. And I know the best sausage is Jimmy Dean sausage. I mean, if you're looking for good breakfast sausage, I'd be Jimmy Dean, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. The Lock says, I'm a Bears fan, so I should be more careful with the words like bad. Yeah, he had mentioned that Purdy has the same arm strength, different offense. Heineke is the same player, but a bad team.
Well, he definitely had a worse offensive line. So
yeah.
I guess there's that.
Then the Bears? Did you see the Bears?
He was comparing the Commanders to the Niners. Not the Bears.
CK has a recommendation for our podcast, Keon.
Mm-hmm.
It says here, Randy, you and Keon could talk Bigfoot once a week.
I don't know a ton about Bigfoot though, but
well, I mean, I could clue you in.
I would be open
you're
to
a quick
it.
learner. Your prowess is being a student, very good. I could clue you in. I could give you all my wisdom. It's a good point there, CK. We could talk Bigfoot. Lost Toby says it's the Seattle Ukuleles. There it is. I wonder what the U stood for. Thank you. Vinsanity 602 says, hey, Vinsanity 602 here. Okay, let's stop there. Vinsanity 602, you don't have to say you're Vinsanity 602. There's this thing they invented a few years back called the caller ID. It works on text too. So I see it's Vinsanity 602 because I put you in our stellar elite text system and your name is Vinsanity 602. So you could just let it ride. All right, let's go back to the text. Sorry, late to the combo. May I have a cold one, please? Question. Well, here's your cold one. I'm assuming that's. Question is ASU making the cut? Yes or no? If not, why not? Well, first, I mean, is ASU making the cut? I mean, clearly is that is the joke of that's the text of the day. That's joke of the day right there, ladies and gentlemen. There it is. It's Hannity 602. Text of the day.
Because I don't know if you're serious or not. Are you just trying to make me say the hurtful thing or no? Because unless they win the conference tournament, which is incredibly unlikely. No.
His next text, which was just moments later, says Zaga or St. Mary. Shout out to the Matrix Sean Marion showing love last GCU game.
Yeah, Sean Marion was at the game.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
The Matrix. I always thought, he should be in his son's Ring of Honor.
Is he not?
I don't think so.
I'm not up to date on exactly who's in the Suns Ring of
I
Honor.
don't think so.
I remember watching
Carson Palmer. He's in the Cardinals Ring of Honor.
Yeah, that's sad. I was talking to Jeffrey about it the other day, and he was basically telling me, Ring of Honors don't mean anything. They usually do. If you put Carson Palmer in yours, and he hasn't been here, and his best years were not here, and
no, it was as a Raider and Bengal, I think.
Yeah,
wasn't here.
Oh my God!
But to his credit, not that he deserves to be in the Ring of Honor, but to his credit, when we did get him, we played a hell of a lot better.
It's a good point, I guess.
I'm sorry, I just kind of drifted off there for a second. Eye Candy says on the text line, Eye Candy says, hi, Randy. No, the best sausage is at the pork shop in Queen Creek. You get the maple brown sugar sausage pack. So delicious. Okay, I'll have to give it a try. I'm just saying Oscar Mayer bacon. That's a no. For me, that's a no. How many people on the fourth dimension? How many people do the Oscar Mayer bacon? Because we need to help you. There is help for you. Vinsanity 602 says he's not. Matrix, unfortunately, not in the Ring of Honor for the Suns.
That is deeply unfortunate. That dude was awesome.
I think I have an idea why. They can never find him. He's the Matrix.
Oh, good point.
He's here, he's there. You never know where he is. You can't get in touch with him unless you're in the Matrix. I mean, there's good things, there's bad things about being in the Matrix, and that's one of them right there. 888-368-1580 is we are efforting our way towards 6 o'clock tonight on the Daily Blender. Yes, your long national nightmare nearly over. Jeffrey back Monday over most of these same radio stations. So what do you do after football? Well, in the case of Clinton Dix, he started a new job with his old alma mater. That's Alabama. And Nick Saban welcoming him with a butt chewing. Clinton Dix, he's a new director of player development, retiring from professional playing career this offseason, and he's now in Tuscaloosa working for his former head coach, Nick Saban. Saban welcomed the former safety's return in the only way he could. First day on the job, Clinton Dix says, I got a butt chewing from Coach Saban. He wrote that on Twitter on Tuesday. Quote, 1 down, 5 million to go, end quote. Yeah, let me help you out here, Clinton. Probably not the best way to keep your job. Just saying.
I mean, I don't know. He's never coached before. So Nick Saban has a standard, expects certain things from his coaches. Obviously, he played for Saban, but playing for Saban is not the same thing as coaching under him. And so that's how you learn. He's clearly taken it in stride.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he retired with the Packers at the end of the 22 season. Same day he announced he would be returning to his alma mater. That's where my life is headed, into coaching, Clinton Dix said, helping these kids create great decision-making and making the right choices as they get ready to further their career and head to the NFL and other avenues they want to endure after football is over with. Good for him. See, now that's a positive thing right there.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
That is a guy that's got his head squarely put on his body. So good for him. Clinton Ha Dix. All right, I'm adding him into my favorite player category now.
And also, obviously, top tier member of the all name team.
Oh yeah. Yeah, see, that's the thing. We should do that. We should come up with the all name team.
It's a good point. I keep saying I'm going to do it, and then I get distracted and don't.
Execution is not your is that your suit, is it? That's not your fastball, is it? I mean, you great ideas, execution.
The idea guy for sure, but no, I got to do that because it's a fun thing, and I've done it before, and it's been pretty entertaining.
So, sorry, Clinton Dick. Sorry, I was just kind of looking at the story here. He's a good dude. So the Jets apparently made a great pitch to Derek Carr. He was in New York City over the weekend, and the Jets apparently poured it on pretty thick. The 31-year-old quarterback recently visiting with the Jets. They made a strong push to bring Carr aboard. That visit, per ESPN, went well from both sides. The Jets selling Carr on their ready-made roster that'll be able not only to contend for the playoffs upon his potential arrival in 23, but also for the Super Bowl right out of the gate. Okay, let's stop there for a second. How do you say that? I mean, we're going to contend for a Super Bowl. I don't think I would be that bold. I would say, listen, you come to this team, the possibilities are endless. We feel like we've got a strong team. We feel like we've got a contending team. I wouldn't be so brash as to say, and upon your potential arrival, we will contend for the Super Bowl right out of the gate.
I mean, it's up to Derek Carr to obviously discern what fact from fiction, but the Jets really need a quarterback. They need a guy, and they actually do probably feel like they're a quarterback away from being Super Bowl contenders. So for them to pitch a guy and come out and say that,
So you like it? You like that brash statement?
I do. And if I thought that they didn't have the team to back it up, that would be one thing. But I mean, that's a great football team.
I mean, lest we forget, Patrick Mahomes is still playing, and the Chiefs are still the team to beat.
Correct.
Then you got Josh Allen and the Bills. Oh, I don't know.
That's in your division.
They're pretty good. I'm just saying there might be a few teams.
Yeah. And obviously you've got to back that up on the field if you're going to come out and make a statement like that. But if you're going to try and get a quarterback and get the guy that you think can actually make you a contender, I don't know. Do you pull any punches there?
9 seasons. Carr hasn't won a playoff game yet, has he? 9 seasons in the NFL. I don't think he's won a playoff game. Anyway,
true. I don't know if he's ever played on a roster this good. If he were to play on this roster, though,
the Jets were not only selling the Super Bowl to Derek Carr on top of pitching the overall team success. Apparently, they told the Jets that Carr, they believed, if he comes to their organization and wins, he could be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Why don't we just go ahead and measure you for the gold jacket right now, Derek? Well, I mean, you're in the facility. Can we just go ahead and measure you? We got our seamstress and our tailor right here. We're going to have them go ahead and measure you and start making your jacket up for the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, that's a bit crazy. But if you win a Super Bowl for the Jets, you are going to the Hall of Fame. you are. The Jets, because we're not talking about the Giants. The Giants have won Super Bowls. They're a quality organization. They've been well run. The Jets, if you bring Lombardi to gangrene, you're a miracle worker is what
Jets
you are.
Jets have one Hall of Fame quarterback. You know what his name is?
Joe Namath.
Yeah. Joe effing Namath. He won 1 Super Bowl.
That's exactly the point. And not in dominating fashion either.
No. But he was bold enough to call it. That's why he's in the damn the Hall of Fame. And don't you know he wears that puny little Jets Super Bowl ring everywhere he goes?
And there's no place in New York where he's got to buy himself a drink.
Oh, hell no. I'm Joe Namath. I own this town.
Which is what I would have pitched Derek Carr. You bring a championship here, dinner and drinks are free for the rest of your life.
Well, it would be a lot of speculation, and certainly the media there in New York City would have other things to say, especially if Carr shows up and he's not so successful in the first year. Have to wait and see. Projecting him as a first ballot Hall of Famer. Whew.
But you got to win the Super Bowl, though. You can't just be okay. You can't just be good. It has to be, it's Super Bowl or bust on that one.
For those of you who might be wondering out there, Y.A. Tittle is the only Hall of Fame quarterback since 1960 who does not have a playoff win. Derek Carr currently does not have a playoff win. What does that mean for Zach Wilson? I mean, I don't want to hear what they said. Well, we still want to work with him, because after we've already seen today on this edition of the Daily Blender, doesn't mean squat until it happens.
Yeah, no, I think they're done with Zach Wilson. They're not going to come out and say it, but dude's got bust written all over him. He doesn't have the mental acuity, and he doesn't seem to have the self-awareness to not constantly put his foot in his mouth, to not tick off the entire locker room. He's a horrible leader. I just like there's a bunch of stuff there. And can he learn and grow? Yeah, he's 22, 23 years old, somewhere in that ballpark. He can learn and grow. But in the NFL, do teams have time to wait for you to grow if you're just not getting it at all? Like the people talk about, how much patience should the Cardinals have with Kyler Murray? I have seen stretches, 5, 6, 7, 8 game stretches where I look at Kyler Murray and I'm like, that dude is amazing. It never looked like that for Zach Wilson in the NFL. Not yet. And maybe some other team might have a chance to get it out of him, but the Jets don't have time because this roster is too good to waste on Zach Wilson growing up.
All right, we got to take a break. When we come back, I've got one more quarterback story to talk about before we get on this date in Big George's sports history, and perhaps a loaded wheel of sports. That's around the corner next on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. This is the Daily Blender.
When a cold comes on strong, knock it out with Vicks DayQuil Severe for max strength daytime relief. Just one dose of Vicks DayQuil Severe starts to relieve 9 of your worst cold and flu symptoms to help take you from 9 to none. Power through your day with Vicks DayQuil Severe, the daytime non-drowsy, coughing, aching, fever, sore throat, 9 to none medicine. Use as directed.
If you are an IT professional looking for an opportunity with great benefits, the freedom to creatively solve problems in a career with great growth potential and a team environment, look no further than Affinity Technology. Serving the Valley since 1992, Affinity Technology is looking for a level 1 tech to develop and deliver excellent solutions and outstanding customer service. Visit atechaz.com/jobs and get started with your future today. That's atechaz.com/jobs.
We are ready to duel in the desert.
Is there anything better than the sound of 3 races breathing life into a new NASCAR season? What about if it's at a state-of-the-art facility with stunning views of the Estrella Mountains and a famous, only one of its kind hillside? Well, then you must be talking about Phoenix Raceway. NASCAR weekend at Phoenix Raceway, March 10th through the 12th. Get your tickets now at phoenixraceway.com.
When you run a business, you need to be in control. And while you can't control everything that happens in the world of business, you can definitely take control of your utility expenses with the help of Harmon Solar. Give them a call and see how your company can save up to 80% on that monthly electric bill with 0 down and no payments for 12 months. Harmon Solar is a local family-owned company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar, 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189. Or go to harmonsolar.com.
This is Joan, enjoying some me time up on the rim. This is Simon and his friends paddling the Salt River. And this is Brad. Brad is, well, no one knows where Brad is. What they all have in common is that they went to azmvdnow.gov to quickly and easily renew their registration or 30 other services. So go to azmvdnow.gov and get more time to enjoy all the things you love.
Sponsored by ADOT in partnership with the Arizona Broadcasters Association and this station.
Homeowners age 62 and older, now is time to act. This is Rob Canyon, retirement mortgage specialist and host of the Retire Right with Reverse Rob show on 1510 KFNN. Yes, listing prices are down, but home values still remain at very high levels. Don't wait to learn more about the new and improved home equity conversion mortgage. This is a safe and proven coordinated strategy in retirement, which will improve your monthly cash flow, lower your tax liabilities, and make your retirement portfolio last longer. Call me today, Reverse Rob at 602-REVERSE or on the web at www.reverserob.com.
1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Live and local.
It is the Daily Blender on a blustery, windy Wednesday here in the Valley of the Sun. Probably the last gasp of winter/fall before we get into our spring week or two. If you have lived here in Phoenix, you know exactly what I'm talking about. We've been talking a little NFL football as we wind our way towards the end of today's Daily Blender. But before we get into more, Baker's Cocky Hen says, pretty sure buy whichever bacon is on sale at this point, Randy. Well, that's true. That's true. CK wants to give me he wants to invoke a 2-minute penalty on me for the Matrix joke that he's not in the Suns Ring of Honor because he's in the Matrix. You can't find it. He's everywhere, but he's nowhere.
That's too bad. You can't flag Randy, so.
Vinsanity 602 sending me more things. Let's see. There's a picture of a shoe. That must be a Matrix shoe. It looks like a size 84. And then there's a hey, thanks, Vinsanity 602. I can't look at all of them, but thank you. All right. Why don't we do this before we get out of hand here? Every week, a 7-foot lawyer in he's in the town, I guess. He's in Mesa. Are you still in Mesa, Big George? Are you going to be there for a while? What's the situation? Just text me. You don't have to. I won't read it on the air. I know people will be crowding around your house. I get that. But it's time for On This Date in Big George's sports history. Back in the year 1980, one of the most startling and dramatic upsets in sports history occurred when the underdog United States hockey team, composed of amateurs, defeated the defending champion Soviet Union 4-3 in the 1980 Lake Placid Winter Olympic Games. The American goal that broke the Russians' back and the 3-3 tie was scored by Mike Eruzione, the American team's captain. Before the game, Coach Herb Brooks from the University of Minnesota told his players, quote, "You were born to be a player. You were meant to be here," end quote. Probably one of the biggest sports upsets ever. I mean, the Soviets were so strong, so big, and our guys were just kids because back then we didn't use pro players in the Olympics. You were only supposed to have amateurs, and the Soviet Union, well, they used amateurs, I guess.
Just fully grown adult amateurs.
Mm-hmm. They didn't play in the NHL. They didn't play in the Russian leagues. But they were part of the military, and their jobs in the military were to train to play hockey.
And
so that happened on this date. And then a couple nights later, the USA rocked Finland 4-2 to win the gold medal. Rob McClanahan scored the winning goal in the third period. And Jimmy Craig starred in the nets afterwards, draped in the American flag. Craig skated around the rink looking in the stands for his widowed father. What a great story.
fantastic story. And of course, it gave us the great call from Al Michaels. Do you believe in miracles?
Do you believe in miracles? I can't do it like Jeffrey does. I can't do it. Big George, I'm sorry. He's back in California. I'm sorry. He says it's windy over there too. Thanks, Big George. 888-368-1580. And thanks for that on this date in Big George's sports history. Daniel Jones had a pretty good season. We could both agree on that, right?
Yeah.
Keon? Had a pretty good season.
Brian Dable basically put his career back on track.
I mean, here's Danny Dimes, is sort of short of the mark here the last few seasons. And, going into this one, the Giants weren't picking up his option. And, Brian Dable was the new head coach. Nobody really knew what to expect out of number 8, but he had a pretty good year. Pretty good year. But I got to tell you, he's maybe a bit big for his shoulder pads, if you ask me. Jones originally viewed as a bust and a turnover machine, and his 5th-year option declined last season. Laid out that he thinks that he's worth $45 million a year. Says he wants $45 million a year, Keon. $45 million a year.
Oh, so Daniel Jones has the good drugs. That's what I'm learning right now. What is that?
I'm kind of blown away. I'm looking at his ratings and all this stuff. Total QBR last year 6th. EPA per dropback 11th. Passer rating 13th. PFF quarterback grade 17th. I mean, that sounds average to me. He did all that with a below average supporting cast, except for Saquon. I mean, they got rid of Christian McCaffrey. Oh no, that was the Panthers. Sorry, never mind. He didn't have any real, high dollar pass catchers. He didn't have an offensive line to speak of.
Tight end stank.
Offensive lines blocking was 24th in the league. Run blocking 14th. Saquon Barkley was 15th in the league. Hodgkins ranked 25th wide receiver in the league. Richie James 38th. Darius Slayton 61st. Daniel Bellinger was 42nd as a tight end. And yet he's coming out and he's saying, I want $45 million a year.
That's crazy.
The hell does he think he's playing for? Jerry?
Jerry wouldn't give him $45 million a year. I have enough respect. Jerry is wild and crazy Texan. Jerry would not give Daniel Jones $45 million a year. He just wouldn't do it. Because you know who makes $46 million a year? Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes makes $46 million a year.
Damn.
You know who makes $39 million a year? Josh bleeping Allen. Is Daniel Jones high? Like, he had a good year. And if he wanted 32, 33 mil a year, that's a little rich for my blood, but I'd give it to him. 45. Dude, get out of here. I know you're supposed to bargain high as you can negotiate your way on down, but that doesn't mean you have to start at $3 trillion. $45 million a year. Get the hell out of here, man. What the hell is that?
He wants $45 million a year.
Oh my God.
He says he's worth it.
And I get it. Your team sucked last year, but man, before Brian Dable showed up, you were nobody and going nowhere. Okay. I know you don't think Dable should have been coach of the year. I get it. But Daniel Jones was actively playing his way out of the NFL, right out of the league. Couldn't stop throwing interceptions to save his life. And Brian Dable came along and fixed him. You don't get $45 million a year. He does, if anybody. I mean, it's insane. It's crazy.
Man. You done?
Yeah, I got a little worked up there.
Okay. All right.
Might be one of the most insane things I've heard in the last 72 hours. Just
okay. That's the funniest thing I've heard all day.
You think that you are $1 million less in value than Patrick Mahomes? You really?
Danny Dimes thinks he's worth more money than Lamar Jackson. Than Action Jackson. Isn't that what Action Jackson wants? He wants $40 million a year guaranteed, fully guaranteed, right?
Yep.
And Danny Dimes thinks he is worth more money than Lamar Jackson.
Lamar Jackson is 40-17 as a starter. Get out of here, Daniel. Get out. It's just insane.
CK, I don't blame Daniel Jones for wanting $45 million per year. He's better than Willow, who got paid $250 million.
I mean, I don't blame people who are high either for making the decisions that they make while they're high. That is. Why do you keep bringing up Willow? What does Willow have to do with anything?
God, CK just hates Kyler Murray. Just absolutely, he just absolutely hates Kyler Murray.
Daniel Jones is not better than Kyler Murray.
I don't know.
Please stop.
Baker's Cocky Hen reminds us that, look, Saquon Barkley said Danny Dimes is elite. GM material Saquon.
Yeah, the day I take general manager advice from my running back, just quit already. Like, he's supposed to say that. Daniel Jones is his guy. They're both been on the team together. And it was great. You see your friend moving in a positive direction. I don't pay my quarterback on what my running back thinks.
Bala 51 on the text line says, DJ sounds like all the other kids I interview for jobs these days that want to make 20 times the starting wage right out of the gate. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, I want a 6-figure salary and all the benefits now.
Yeah, kid, the starting wage is minimum wage. Ooh, I'm sorry. I can't work for that. I was looking more like $45 an hour. You get the hell out of my office, man. Just get out.
You want to be paid a contract that would put you between Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen.
That's what he says. He says he's worth it. He's commanding a $45 million a year contract from the New York Giants.
You think that you are in the same league as the two guys that will be gatekeeping the AFC as far as getting to the Super Bowl for the next 10 years.
Big George says, Keon, my ears are bleeding from that most recent rant.
Well, I am sorry.
You might want to warn us when you are about to enter the rage cage.
I can't warn you.
I love that. The rage cage. Yes.
Now it has
We're
a
going
name.
into the rage cage.
Listen,
with Keon Rose.
Randy has the sixth sense of knowing when I'm going to blow a gasket because I don't know. Even I don't know. I saw it on the sheet, the show sheet before the show started.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, that's crazy. But then we were talking about it, and there was something about you saying it out loud that just set me off.
Uh-huh.
That is the craziest thing I've ever heard.
I have a feeling you're about to go off again.
I'm trying not to. I'm really trying not to. Well, this is madness. The only two people making more money than Patrick Mahomes are Deshaun Watson and Dak Prescott. And while neither of those guys is worth the money that they're making, I can at least understand why they got paid. When they paid Dak, it looked like the arrow of Dak was going up. When they paid Deshaun, it was like, all right, this guy might take us to the promised land. He's just been missing from football for 2 years.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being along here. I love ending the show on a great Keon Rose rant.
Meanwhile, Daniel Jones has been missing from like 80% of his own career.
The rage cage. Thank you, Ford Dimension, for being part of the show. Keon Rose, thank you as always. We have been broadcasting live from the Harman Solar Studios, beautiful Scottsdale. Tomorrow, 3 o'clock, same bat time, same bat channel. This has been the Daily Blender on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Up next over most of these same radio stations, it's VSiN talking about betting. Arizona Sports Betting Station.
Yeah. Seems like everything is going electric these days. Electric cars, electric trucks,